What is shaking? Happy Wednesday to you. It's a rare back-to-back backyard. Back-to-back in the backyard. And it's, I wouldn't do it for just anybody. I would do it for Matt Maiocco, though.
Oh, wow.
I would do it for Matt Maiocco. NBC Sports Bay Area.
It's great to be back.
Awesome to have you back. Our once-a-year kind of catch-up. Before we get started in depth, let's thank our sponsor, Fieldwork, who, by the way, we're going to crack this thing open. It's called Instant Vacation. It's a tropical sour.
Okay.
So we're going to give that a shot because you told me the IPAs aren't sitting real well.
Yeah.
So I got plenty of non-IPAs
There's some
for
gut
you.
health going on.
Yeah.
And the last time I was here, more than a year ago, I think it was, but
Yeah.
we did that one thing in Pleasanton. The last time I was here, I did have a designated driver, thank goodness, because I tried to keep up with you. And at the end of the show,
I
3
kind of throw some of mine over my shoulder. You didn't see that.
I didn't see that. But I didn't. So this time I wore a hat with my name on it just so I'd remember who I am when I leave.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever done that? Bought it? Like, I was in Minneapolis, I think on that road trip that you
I think
went
that's
on.
where the Juicy Lucy's originated.
It is.
For those who don't know, the Juicy Lucy is where you get the two patties, you put the cheese in the middle, smush them together, and then cook it, and the cheese just oozes out.
Yeah. So I went to Matt's bar, and I thought, oh, I'll get a hat. But then I was like, after, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but who wears a hat with their name on it? So I always felt weird putting this hat on, but today I feel just fine putting the hat on.
You should feel good.
And my daughter is Lucy.
Yeah,
she's the designated driver.
So
today.
both your names are on it.
There we go.
You're all good to go.
Yeah. So I can remember her name too.
I gotta do is take your hat off and go. Well, I mean, you got three choices, right?
Yeah.
You got your name, which you're not going to screw up.
Hopefully
you got her
not.
name, and hopefully you won't go to Juicy.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's Lucy, Dad. So thank you, Fieldwork. Always appreciate it. We'll be featuring a couple Fieldwork beers today. Yesterday we did a few as well, but today maybe we'll get the milk stout in there. We'll try. That's a fantastic one. I've been wanting to try a black and tan with the Fieldwork beers and pour it over the spoon and see how that works. I don't know if I'll do it, but it sounds pretty good. But if you want to go grab some beers, head on over to any Fieldwork. They're in San Leandro. They're over in Berkeley. They're in San Ramon. They're at Sacramento. They're all over the place. Or if you're going to a Giants game, stop by the beer garden over in China Basin. Again, I don't have any facts, but I got to think that's the best beer garden in the Bay Area. You got McCovey Cove and the ballpark in the background. Big screen TV. You can watch the game, get the ambient sound, maybe grab a beer before you go to the game if you're going to the game. Or go to Mission Rock, and they have fantastic food over at Mission Rock. And again, if you don't go very often, go the last weekend of the season. Been a dismal season, but they're going to be playing the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring the show out on the road. The Friday night game, the last Friday game of the regular season, and we're going to do like a little tribute to Mike Krukow. So the show's going to be all about Mike. Fieldwork's going to make a beer specifically for Mike called Grab Some Pine Meat.
Oh, awesome.
Grab Some Pine Meat IPA.
It's got to be a very piney IPA.
Very piney. I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. So, and they're going to give the proceeds to a charity of Mike's choice. So
that's great.
That's one of the things I love about Fieldwork.
Do you know what hops it is that brings out that piney flavor?
I don't. I think Simcoe. I think Simcoe has some pininess to it, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some of the fruitier ones. I think Idaho 7 may be a little like piney, danky, but I'm starting to get into. I just drink it.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sure
make
people
it
in
mad.
the
I just
comment
drink
section
it.
will
they'll
in.
They'll help us out. They'll absolutely help us out. So thank you, Fieldwork. We appreciate it. Appreciate the beers and appreciate everything you do. And the Mike Krukow thing is just fantastic. Before we get started, let's pour this in a glass.
Let's do it.
It's got coconuts on the can, so it must be coca nutty. See what I did there? That was really stupid. Oh, you know these QR codes?
Yeah.
So I had one on my phone. Like I was scrolling through something. He goes, the QR code, like if you want to like download it. And I'm like, what? It's on my phone. How do I download how do I do the QR code? Like take a picture of it. Like, but I'm on my phone. How do I do that? I can't do that. I couldn't turn my camera around to like take a picture of my camera because the QR code was on the screen of my camera. Anyway, let's pour the beer.
Well, the QR code is supposed to pop in underneath on your camera screen.
But I couldn't get it on my camera screen because it was already on my screen. It was already on the page I was looking at on my phone.
Okay, I guess I
See,
understand.
it's very confusing.
Yeah, no, it
Very
is.
confusing.
Screenshot it.
Nah, that's too much work for me.
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, let's try this. This is the Insta vacation, so we should feel like we're on vacation while we're drinking this. And we're going to be able to have a few beers because we're going to be splitting them, which would be nice. So we'll keep that
Yeah,
right
keep
there.
that right there. Let's
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see what we got here. That is
Whoa.
coconutty.
That is.
That is coconutty. I like coconut. Do you like coconut?
I do in small quantities. That's gonna
About-
be perfect.
okay, that's-
that's gonna be perfect.
About that small quantity.
Yeah,
about
that's-
that small.
Yeah, that is definitely.
I like coconut. I'm a big
Mm-hmm.
a big fan of like coconut cream pie,
Mhm.
coconut ice cream. More coconut gelato, like because you don't see a lot of coconut ice cream, but you see a lot of coconut gelato.
Yeah.
I just love
What do we do? Like, Mom makes the is it the curry sauce with the coconut milk? Yeah, that's really good.
That's good stuff too.
Really good.
What kind of was it like Thai or Indian or?
Thai.
I think of more Thai. We had it last
Thai?
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Every time
good stuff.
they say Thai, I think of
Goes for the runner.
none.
The equivalent
No.
of kissing your sister.
No, I was gonna say like Meet the Fockers, where it
Oh,
goes,
okay.
"Oh no, Dina, Jack speak Thai very well." I don't know why I always think of that. I don't know why I think of that scene. And then he gets mad. He goes, "You dumb shit! That was a surprise vacation. Sven's my travel agent." And it's like the guy you just couldn't catch a break. You just eventually could not catch a break in that movie at all. All right, let's get to some Niners stuff.
Let's do it.
We got to
Football
start.
or off the field?
Well, we got to start with Jed first. I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. It just the more I read,
Yeah.
the more I just laugh.
yeah.
And look, I said this yesterday. I'll say it again for those that didn't like jump on. And you may like this, you may not like it. I don't really care what he does in his private life. I don't care that it was a prostitute or a hooker and he paid for. I don't care. Like if two consensual adults and that's how she wants to make her living, whatever. All right, it's good enough for the Wild West. Good enough for me here. I don't.
Well, it wasn't even that. There wasn't a woman involved.
No, I know there wasn't, but in his mind, there was
in
going
theory,
to be.
of
Yeah.
course, of
So I'm
course.
just saying. I know a lot of people morally are outraged. I'm like, whatever. Leave that there. But the details, and like, the details were killing me.
Mm-hmm.
$140 that ended up being $160 because apparently there was $140 and then $20 surcharge for unprotected at 9:35 in the morning. We talk about dynamic pricing. I mean, holy cow! He went for the early bird special.
Does that
He's
the
got the-
price goes up as the day goes
well,
on?
I would think so. I would think like if he answered that ad at like 9 at night, it could be $1.95.
Yeah.
You don't know. But I think he went for like the, looked at the prices and said, you know what?
Are these
I can-
unconfirmed facts? Like Fieldwork's Beer Garden is the best in the Bay Area.
This one I read. Well, it depends on what you think of the California Post.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones that had the 935.
Okay.
Is it like
Well, no,
in
but I'm
the
saying
morning?
like the dynamic pricing.
that I
That's an
made
opinion.
up. Yeah, that I made up, Matt. But it could be.
You never know.
It could be. I mean, it stands to reason, right? Why do you think we have happy hour? Not as many people there. You want to get them in to drink beer, right?
That's a good
I'm
point.
just thinking, like, if I'm a gigolo, I'm going to make my prices lower in the morning and early afternoon because probably not as many people are thinking about doing that,
Yeah.
the afternoon delight thing. And then when people were thinking about it, I'm going to raise my prices.
I think
now, look,
Uber calls it surge pricing.
it's exactly that works in
We'll
this
just
case.
let
Serge.
we'll just let that lay there.
Now look at my face. Like literally, my dynamic pricing would be like $13. Be like $13 before noon. Like maybe I get all the way up to 40 in the evening. And that'd be about as high as I could go. But all right, jokes aside.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just keep coming up with new ones because I keep reading the story and I'm like, oh,
I've already
that's a joke.
on my like Instagram feed. I'm already getting like stand-up comics doing bits on it.
Oh, of course. I mean, if you're a stand-up comic, you could sit down. I can make 5 minutes out of this. I could get up on stage and do 5 minutes out of this. And we haven't even talked about the V-neck that he had to wear during the mugshot. I said yesterday I would ask for a crew neck. The V-neck made it look awful.
Yeah.
You got to be a. I don't know how you feel about this. Like, I like you. You're a friend of mine.
Thank you.
You would look like trash in a V-neck. If you
I-
wore
I
a V-neck
don't-
right here, I would send you home.
I don't
If
disagree.
yeah. And I'd be disappointed Lucy didn't say anything. Like, are you kidding me, Dad? V-neck? Like, you're
Yeah.
going to go V-neck t-shirt?
You might have
I
sent her
can't-
home first.
I can't go V-neck.
Yeah.
I tried to go V-neck. I ordered a couple V-necks one time. I put them on. I go, that's $25. Threw it right in the trash.
Yeah.
So I just thought, V-neck, it looks good on Matthew McConaughey. You know, what's the difference? Me, McConaughey. I was like, yeah, I can get away with this. Come to find out, I couldn't get away with it.
I would wear a V-neck only if I had a button-up shirt over it, so it doesn't show the collar, underneath.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah, like
you
like
can't
me and
you
you
can't have that as your outerwear.
me and you can't get away wearing vests with no shirt underneath.
No.
Like, we're definitely not trying out for the Thunder from Down Under. We're not doing that. We're not part of that review in Vegas.
Yeah.
We're not going to get away with that. But the V-neck just made him look even sadder.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at it, I was like this whole thing is just sad.
Yeah.
And I thought about the family, but then I read the divorce they're
Yeah.
going. So again, whatever. That's their deal to deal with. It's not, I don't judge people by, as long as it's not felonious. Like, everybody has their own family dynamics.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, and I will say, I'm sure he's been going through an extraordinarily rough time leading into this because he hasn't been in Santa Clara in training camp.
Yeah.
And usually, now he has taken a step back in year, basically since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan came aboard. But it did dawn on me, even before that news broke on Monday, that, I haven't seen him much. And then I realized I haven't seen him at all. And that was something that Kyle Shanahan talked about on Tuesday, was that, from the football standpoint, it really has no impact because he hasn't been around. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. It's the football thing is the football thing. So, why he's back in Ohio, obviously family reasons for that. So, yeah, it is just a very sad thing if you strip away all the headlines and the police reports.
You
and-
strip away. Look at you. You're getting into the. I mean, you said you were going to get in. You're right into the swing of things. That's what I love about you. You sneak them in there on me. How does it affect? Because I thought the same thing. It's probably not. I just thought from a player standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care what ownership was doing when I was a player. I had my own problems. I had to deal with, like, guarding Charles Oakley the next night. Like, I got my focus. And I said yesterday, the team is one unit. Then the coaching staff is like extended unit, then front office, then organization. But as a player, you're just concerned with what you're doing and what your teammates are doing. That's how granular you can get. So I didn't even really think it was going to affect it that much. What about organizationally? How does this affect, like, not only this? I don't think, because, like, I don't think this affects it much. I'll be honest with you, because owners don't fire owners, don't fire themselves, and other owners aren't going to be like, hey, because the other owners could be like facing something like this down the road. They're like, yeah, you do whatever. The divorce is a different aspect of it. We'll see, but take those two things. Is there anything we can get from this as to where this organization may be going in the future, or it's still way too early to tell, I guess?
I mean, I don't see it having any impact on ownership or anything else. I think I would be very surprised because of his no contest pleas if the NFL, unlike with Robert Kraft, I'd be surprised if Roger Goodell doesn't met out some sort of punishment. I would imagine a large fine and probably something along the lines of you have to remain away from the team for X number of weeks, which is something that he might have done anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine he'll go to Australia with the team. I mean, I just can't imagine that. And the fact that, the Robert Kraft situation lasted for a year or more because of, he fought it, not guilty plea for him. And then there were court proceedings, and ultimately a court in Florida ruled that the evidence was obtained illegally or it violated his constitutional rights. And so the video surveillance evidence, the audio evidence was thrown out, and so then the case was thrown out.
Yeah.
And Roger Goodell opted at that point that, like, well, no punishment. I think what I heard, I know that Robert Kraft issued a public apology. I understand that he spoke to the owners at one of their meetings and apologized there. And as we're talking right now, there is an owners get together going on in Atlanta to basically rubber stamp the sale of the Seattle Seahawks. And so I don't know who's representing the 49ers there, but basically what is Guido? Okay. So from the standpoint of waiting for, the NFL waiting for the legal process to run its course before acting, the process has already run its course. This was the quickest resolution of anything I'm no lawyer, but even in talking to a lawyer, he's like, this is like unheard of, that something can happen where he could be arrested at 9:35 a.m. on a Sunday, and by 8 a.m. the next day, it is signed, sealed, delivered, the plea or the charges amended down to disorderly conduct, papers signed, fine paid, and that's it. So now Roger Goodell has all the information he needs. I'm sure he'll talk to Jed York and call him to New York or whatever that needs to be done. But I would imagine now that it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's the punishment, the discipline is determined before the start of the regular season.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Goodell fined him $160? Would that just be amazing? That would be the best fine ever. $160 fine. Hey, look, if I'm Jed, I'm like, what are you gonna find? What are you gonna find me for? Disorderly conduct?
Well, and that is part of the.
I mean, you can't find me for the solicitation, all that, because that's not on
the personal conduct policy. One of the things that a staff member, player, or whatever can be disciplined for is disorderly conduct.
Huh.
I mean, it's spelled out there.
I would have thought that would have been better than the alternative.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No question. Well, I'm sure that's obviously on there too. I would, but yeah, no, it's spelled out, disorderly conduct.
I know owners. They probably all voted. Let's keep that off, just in case. Let's see how it goes. Let's not be hasty. Let's just pump the brakes on that one, shall we? Pump the brakes. But I'm with you. I don't think it's really going to have much of an effect.
Here's where
it's just noise. Yeah. I don't like noisy off seasons.
No.
And they've had a noisy off season with Shanahan and Jed. I don't know that they amount to much. In my eyes, they amount to much, but it is noise.
It is. Two things. One is there's going to be revisionist history, or the way it'll be viewed. Perception becomes reality. Yep. If the 49ers struggle this season, they should be a good team. They should be a really good team, I think. If they're not, people are going to point to those two things and say, aha, that's why they're 4-6 right now. I mean, and whether it's real, I don't think it will be, but there'll be a lot of people saying it. The other thing is the 49ers are really, increasing their portfolio across the sporting landscape. They've gone to Europe.
Yep.
They got
Leeds.
They got Leeds. They got Rangers, the Scottish football team, soccer. And if they look to expand that portfolio in the United States, whether it's hockey or Major League Soccer, that's where maybe this will come back a little bit, and it'll become an issue, like with whichever team they'd be looking to purchase. The fan base would be, the 49ers Enterprises, that's run by Jed York, and we know. So that could be an issue. But as far as the football, I really don't think it's going to have any impact on the football team.
I've wondered why, because they're taking on, and teams are taking on private equity money now. Mm-hmm. I wonder why the 49ers are taking on, I get why they're taking on private equity, but then why expand to Leeds and the Rangers and then need to take on private equity? I mean, I guess probably from a financial standpoint, it's way over my head.
Well, my guess would be that, they need money to buy those teams. And
then why buy them then? Why not just have the 49ers and let that,
diversifying their portfolio?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but wouldn't you wait until you had enough money to do that?
Well, they do.
I
Have
guess
enough. They have enough money in equity. They have enough
yeah,
money.
that's true.
I mean, they can sell off. I think they sold off. Was it 9.7% of the team or something like that? We realize how much money that is. That is a ton of money.
It's gotta be, what, $1 billion?
And the value of that franchise has gone up 25 times what it was when the York ownership took over.
Yeah.
I mean, it is mind-boggling how much the valuation of the 49ers and the entire NFL has gone up. And I don't know what Leeds is, but
Everything. Look at the Warriors.
like Leeds, I'm sure that value,
Yep.
when they got Leeds, I think maybe they had just been relegated out of the Premier League. That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
For the value of the franchise. Well, they got back in the Premier League. They were
Stayed.
solidly in the Premier League last year. And so I would imagine that is an investment that is already paying off.
Probably. But again, you get relegated, it goes back down again.
goes back
So
down.
I wish we could find a way to do that in American sports. There's really no avenue except for like maybe college football. You could do relegation, promotion, but then you got universities that are going to say, well, I don't want to go down.
Yeah. Well, now you have individual players getting relegated, guys leaving college to go to the NFL, and then they don't make their team, so they go back to college and probably make more money than they would have.
Oh, no doubt.
And I don't know if that's really if that's actually going to happen. I know the Big Ten
said they're not going to do it. But the kid for Daquan Wright for the Browns is going to be playing for LSU.
Theoretically.
And Kiffin's like, I don't even like it, but somebody else is going to get him. We might as well get him so they don't get him.
Absolutely. I mean, if those are the rules.
It's a total mess.
It is a total mess.
It's a total mess. And
let me ask you a question.
yes.
Would you be better off, like you can look at it right now from that seat and say, gosh, if NIL, transfer portal was around when you played, you could have made tons of money. But would you have been better off in the long term having that much money in your pocket as a young man than the path that you took?
Probably not. Because I heard it's such a tough, like, because I get it, right?
Yeah.
Some of these guys aren't going to play pro sports. They want
Most
to
of them won't.
They want to maximize their value as much as they can while they can, which is why you get kids that are like suing universities, suing the NCAA to stay in college now.
Mm-hmm.
Before you wanted to get out, now you want to stay in. Like, hey, I can make money. I'm not going to make the pros, so I want to make as much money as possible. I think it doesn't teach kids how to fight through adversity.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches them, hey, let's go for the buck and only the buck. And I think there's so many kids out there that no matter what kind of season they've had, they put their name in the portal just to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And
Everybody wants to be loved, right?
Yeah,
Everybody wants.
well, I don't even think they care about that, Matt. I think it's like, who can pay me the most?
Well, but that's what I mean.
And scheme doesn't even, I don't even care about scheme.
Yeah.
The scheme may not benefit me when it comes to like going to the NBA or NFL.
This school's paying me $500. This school's
that's
a
where I'm
better
going.
fit. It's paying me $400.
And
I'm
guess
going to
who's
go
telling you?
$500.
And guess who's telling you that?
Well,
Your parents,
agents and
your
parents.
agents, the grifter agents that are doing all this, that are taking 15% to get these kids in the
Is
portal.
that really what they're
Yes,
paying?
10 to
That is
15%.
wild.
This is a Wild West. There's no regulations on these guys like there is NFL agents and NBA agents. I'm assuming NFL agents are pretty much bound by the same terms of NBA agents, where it's like
They're capped
3 to
at,
4%.
They're capped at 3, I think.
Yeah, it's like 2, 3. I think ours was 2, 3.
Yeah.
But that's not in college. So you get people telling you, hey, let's go here for the money, while not thinking about what your future holds. We haven't even talked about the people that put themselves in the portal and nobody picks them up and they got to go back down a level. So they don't get paid. They get kind of left out. We haven't talked about, what about the freshmen coming in, who there's no room for, so now they got to go down to Mountain West or MAC, and not disparaging them, but those guys would be like playing in the Big Four, but now there's so many people staying in the Big Four because they can get paid. You can't get rid of them anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, there's so many unintended consequences to this thing, because I think on the face of it, should kids get paid? Yes, it's $1 billion business. They should find a way to get paid. How do you pay them? And how do you keep the guardrails on this thing That's where they failed miserably.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many elements to this. I'm fascinated by
many.
it. I'm obviously, I'm very close to the St. Mary's
Yep.
program, so I kind of see how it's worked there. But think of it
We'll
this
get into
way.
that traitor, Randy Bennett.
Think of it this way: when you go to Tucson,
Yeah.
like, are you like every door opens for you, right?
Oh, nobody knows me. I'm old now.
Oh, come on.
I'm old.
Come on.
I mean, there are people in the like on the team.
Okay,
And I know Tommy Lloyd, but it's not like I walk into a fucking Del Taco and they go, "Hey, you want a free big meat burrito? Yeah, here we go."
Is that beans and
I don't know. I just used to
ground
like the
beef
big
on
meat.
it?
The Del
Okay.
Taco was better
Okay,
than
so
Taco Bell.
you've completely poo-pooed but I thought like
No, I'm not. I'm not. It's not
you've
Steve Kerr.
If you've transferred several times, like you
don't have that.
You don't have anything.
And guess what? You don't have the bond. You don't have the text thread that I have with Steve and Sean Elliott and Anthony Cook and Craig McMillan and Judd Bushler and all those guys that were friends for life because we went through that experience of being at Arizona together. There's something to be said for having that camaraderie and having that brotherhood that these guys are going to be in college for 4 years, 5 years, 4 or 5 different schools and never have an affiliation with any of them and never have that brotherhood.
And who's going to be in their wedding, right? I mean, like...
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody.
Yeah, high school friends.
Maybe you have one from each school represent.
Yeah.
The mascot will show up. That'll be good. But no, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess is what it is. And I think it does as much harm as it does good.
And think of it this way too. I mean, I actually know more about NIL when it comes to basketball than to football, but I would say, I don't know what the number is, but I'd say 99.9% of college basketball players will never make more money in their life. Professional basketball, that's a very small amount, or just in general, than what they are making as a 22-year-old basketball player. Yeah. And that I don't know that that's healthy, to have that expectation of I made $600,000 to play, and that's on the low end, to play college basketball, and now I take a job out of college for I don't know $45,000 or
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, look at a guy like Mahaney, who was really good at St. Mary's, then went to UConn, paid a lot more money than St. Mary's could afford, didn't do jack. And then transferred in there. I think he went to Santa Barbara.
He did.
Had a decent year. Nothing special. You can make the case that just basketball-wise, it would have been much better for him to stay at St. Mary's and grow at St. Mary's. Now, Jefferson's a different case.
Yeah.
He goes to Iowa State. He ends up doing real well in the Big 12. Fine. But, I'm sure if you're like Mahaney, his parents, whatever, you're like, it's UConn.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm getting paid more money.
If you're, I mean, I don't.
But you don't understand that level.
I don't fault.
I don't fault them, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, it would have been better for him to stay there than go to UConn.
In retrospect, yes. But also, if Danny Hurley is saying, "Hey, I want you in my program. We just won 2 national championships," you're going to go, "Well, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
let's do this." I don't. Yeah.
No, I don't blame him.
No,
I'm just saying that happens, and you think, is this better for my career or is it better for me financially? And in some cases, you may think both. In some cases, certainly financially.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're looking at, you go to UConn, there's dudes at UConn. Like, you better be a dude if you're going to play at UConn.
I think that there's also, from Aiden's standpoint, how good am I? And he had dreams of playing in the NBA. So let's do it. Let's go and test, see what you got. But yeah, some guys it works out for, other guys it doesn't. No question about it. And I think being comfortable and set in a system where you've proven yourself and then wiping out your entire, what you've done to that point and going somewhere else. And now you're going to a total environment where you haven't proven yourself and you have to prove yourself over again. That's not easy either.
Yeah. And to your point, do you think when he graduates college, he's going to have any affiliation to any of those schools?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like any ties? Like reunions? Hey, let's go back to UConn for a reunion, or let's go back to UC Santa Barbara, the Gauchos. I got recruited by Santa Barbara. Coach Prim.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Pim.
Didn't he?
Was
Pim. He lived on a boat, didn't he?
Yes. It was incredible. I'd take my recruiting visit. Are
you serious?
I sat on his boat with him. Yeah, and Ben Howland, the former UCLA head coach, was his assistant back then.
That's a pretty quirky coaching staff.
Yeah, I know. I was like, God. this is pretty. I go, Santa Barbara is pretty nice. I go, I could see myself going here, but then Arizona was like just so much bigger and so much better. I was like, I go to Arizona.
Well, you didn't want to get hit by one of those flying tortillas when you scored the first basket of the game.
Exactly. Although I hear Halloweens are awesome at Santa Barbara.
I can imagine.
I heard Santa Barbara's got some awesome Halloweens. All right, let's get to.
Man, it's been great talking 49ers football with you.
But, okay, before we get to 49ers football, I got to get your thoughts on this because we had Mike Silver on yesterday, and I forgot to ask Mike about this. I want to get your thoughts on it because I still can't quite wrap my head around it. The Seahawks signing Terrion Arnold. It's like there's nothing illegal about it, and someone was probably going to do it because he hasn't gone through the court system yet. It just seems seedy. It just seems like when I read the charges and I read what I was like, oh, that's some pretty nasty stuff that happened there, especially when you consider the guys they did it to were innocent. So, I mean, for those that don't know, look it up. I won't go over the whole thing, but what'd you make of that? Like, is it just, hey, this is big boy business and like we're going to take a shot. He can play cornerback. He's good. And we'll just deal with the repercussions later? Or do you say, yeah, like I'd like to, but that just doesn't seem right.
It was surprising to me that it was the Seahawks because it feels like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
It feels like the Seahawks are really a tight organization. They got things figured out. They have a really good general manager. They have a head coach that's young but super good. And what they've always done, the thing about the Seahawks, and this, I was just talking to an agent about this yesterday. They had Pete Carroll. He found the general manager. It was a perfect fit.
Yep.
Pete Carroll leaves after 10 plus years or whatever. And then it's the general manager who finds the next head coach, and that's a perfect fit. So they had that wired in where it just feels like that organization is just really good.
Yeah.
As far as so many teams, and I covered this team for 20 plus years where head coach and general manager, it's such dysfunction.
Yeah.
And the thing that separated the 49ers over the past 10 years now going is that there isn't dysfunction between the head coach and general manager. So usually organizations like that don't feel the need to take those kinds of chances. And I thought it was unnecessary for Seattle to do that because they're coming off a Super Bowl. And they do such a good job of talent evaluation and getting guys that fit what they do. So they would have been far, far down on the list. They might have been 32 of the teams that I would have thought in order that would do that.
The crazy thing was, and I didn't see this, I just read it, because I don't really watch Hard Knocks anymore. But the crazy thing was, apparently Schneider said on Hard Knocks that, hey, if we were his original team, we probably would have had to release him too. Mm-hmm. Which is a crazy thing to say. Like, if we were the first team, we would have had to release him.
Right.
But we're not.
Yeah.
So we're giving him a second chance.
Well, it's basically, oh, he did that on somebody else's watch.
It's just wild.
He won't do that here.
Yeah, it's just wild. Oh, by the way, he may get arrested and maybe in jail. So he may not be playing for you anyway. Yeah. But it just goes to show you that, like, it's such a bottom line business that, like, hey, can he help us?
Yeah.
Has he been convicted yet? Yes, he can help us. No, he hasn't been convicted yet. Is somebody else going to sign him before we do? Yes. Let's go ahead and jump in there and see what happens. And if he isn't convicted, he doesn't go to jail. He'll be a good addition to our backfield, our defensive backfield.
I mean, the 49ers did something similar to that when this was the first year of Lynch and Shanahan, where all the evidence suggested they should not draft Reuben Foster.
That's right, the Alabama linebacker.
And everything that we knew about him, or everybody knew about him, was like. But I think sometimes individuals, in the case of Seattle, and I think back to that year with Shanahan and Lynch, they were like, "Oh, it'll be different with us. Like once he gets into our solar system."
Yeah, but Foster hadn't been accused of a crime at that point.
But there was like
I mean, look, I get it.
Yeah.
There was evidence that like this guy wasn't like stable, and there may be some things that you have to deal with when you have him, or worse. But this guy's like convicted of not convicted. He's alleged to have committed a crime. He's going to stand trial for this. I mean, like, this is different to me.
Okay. Yeah, because there was something it's still
Yeah.
going through the legal process.
Exactly.
Maybe they just feel like, hey, nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's exactly what they feel like.
It's transactional.
Yes.
If it comes out like, oh, then we move on. But I do think
Yeah.
you strip away at the credibility of the organization and even within the locker room when you take a chance like that. And that's why I was so
Yeah.
surprised that Seattle would do something like that.
No, I agree.
Of
And
all the teams,
and
Seattle.
I think you chip away at the trust the fan base has in you too. And I definitely think you chip away at that. Now, there'll be a lot of chipping because they just won a Super Bowl, so everybody's happy. No one really cares. But anyway, all right, let's get to the Niners and let's talk about the darling of the.
Should we transition?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll finish
Like,
your
that'll
beer.
be the,
I'm waiting for you. I don't want to be rude and open this up. I wanted you to finish your beer, and I want to rush you. And this one is a smoked. We've had this before, but smoked chipotle porter.
Wow, I'm really curious about.
So
this
you're gonna taste it. You get a little tickle in the back of your throat with the pepper.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Believe it or not, this one
That's
is less ABV than the other one, than the sour one we had. But this one's dark.
yeah, it is.
I mean, it is dark.
Yeah. Can't see me through that.
I can't see you at all. Are you there, Matt? Hello, Matt? You gonna give it a shot? It's good. I like it a lot.
Oh wow, yeah, that is.
So you can taste the
Yeah, I
pepper,
think
can't
we're
you?
gonna go get Mexican food after this, so that'll be
That'll fit right
perfect.
in.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? What are you gonna have?
We're gonna go to Cholita Linda.
Oh, I love
Isn't
their
that where
fish.
you went last year?
Yeah,
I
but that
love
was with
their-
my other daughter,
Yeah.
and then
I love their fish tacos.
yes,
Their fish tacos are fantastic. Yeah, we go there probably twice, 3 times a month.
that's all right. Okay.
Yeah, we love Cholita Linda. It's good. They got a good Cuban sandwich too.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll
But
do
the
that.
but the if you like fish tacos, they got really really good fish tacos. You will enjoy those. All right, let's get into the Camp Darling.
Yeah.
Deshaun Stribling, who I'm trying not to be like, oh my God, this guy's gonna be got my fantasy draft coming up. What do I slide him up a couple rounds? This guy's gonna be. I try not to read too much
Yeah.
into preseason anything because over the course of 25, 30 years doing this and 40 years of watching sports, you realize that most of it's a mirage. Like you're like, oh, this guy's going to be the next Babe Ruth. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's batting 190 now? God, what happened to him? He's so good in camp. Like he was killing him down there in the Grapefruit League. Or this guy's averaging 22 in Summer League and then come to find out he plays like 3 minutes a game. I don't want to get too excited. But when I watch him, I see the hands, and then I look at the wide receiver room itself. I'm like, boy, this guy might have a lot of chances, and he might be a big part of the passing game for this team. Because, look, Mike Evans is older. Who knows how healthy he's going to be. George Kittle probably won't ramp all the way up until maybe October at some point. But just give me your thoughts on him, because it's hard not to get excited about what he could be.
Yeah, when they drafted him, my first reaction was like everybody's first reaction, because we all see the draft reports and the media draft, the Kuipers of the world, whomever else, Field
Yep.
Yates and all those guys, and they didn't have him up there among the top 5 or 6. So my first reaction was, what? That's a surprise. And then almost immediately after just watching his highlights and learning more about him, I did one of those, remember the I should have had a V8
Yes.
commercials?
Should have had a
That's the way I was. I was like, how did I not see that? Because he was clearly perfect for the 49ers. You're talking the size, the speed, the route running, the strength, the blocking, the yards after the catch. He had everything. And I was just like, God, why? I should have known. I should have seen that, because it's clear that he fits everything that Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers want in their wide receivers. And then when I saw him on the field, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's good. I've talked to him a few times, and he's just a very even keel, just seems like a really solid guy. So the practices have basically been what you've seen in the preseason games. Um, he's really good, but like you, I want to kind of temper it a little
Yeah.
bit until the regular season. Uh, I kind of felt the same way about Ricky Pearsall 2 years ago. It was like, oh gosh, he looks pretty good. You know, the route completely different styles.
Yeah.
But I thought he was really good. I think he still would be good if he were just healthy, could get on
I
the field
agree.
and stay on the field. But Stribling is a completely different, body composition and everything else. So I do think I've been kind of playing this game in my mind because they do have Mike Evans who will be ready. He's battled through some stuff here in training camp. Debo looks good. I mean, I think the best thing that happened to Debo Samuel was that he went like 6-7 months without a team.
Yeah.
Because then you could see he was working hard behind the scenes. Nothing was going to be given to him. And he's come to camp and he hasn't missed a day of practice. I think he's looked good. And he's a different kind of receiver. He's always been a guy who's, not going to be great against man coverage,
Yeah.
but you put the ball on his chest when he's running full speed, in the seams of a zone defense, and who wants to tackle him?
Yeah.
So I look at those three guys and I'm like, gosh, how would I even rank? I'll just go total yards from scrimmage because Debo's going to have some carries too.
Yeah.
Like, who are those guys? How's he going to stack up as far as total yards from scrimmage among those three guys? And I would be tempted to put Stribling number one of those guys.
Wow.
He's good. And I think the way those guys all are kind of a little bit different, but they all have one element. They all have like that strength and, just kind of being able to muscle against smaller DBs. He's a really good fit. And I'd almost say the same thing about Kalon Black. He looks really good too.
He's
And
physical.
He's very physical. And again, it's like when you talk to guys, you get a feel for them. Like, both of those guys are very mature and they take football very seriously. So, whereas those were probably the two most questioned draft picks that they had,
Yeah.
One at 33, one at 90. I mean, again, way, way too early to say this, but my early thought is just watching them practice is like they might have hit on something good with those two guys.
Is Kalon Black ahead of James now because of the rib?
I think so.
Because
I
James hasn't
think-
really had a chance to do anything this camp because of
Yeah.
was it fractured rib or
Yeah.
broken
yeah,
rib or
Yep. So he's back, but everybody's back now.
Okay.
McCaffrey's back. Kalon Black is back. And Jordan James is back. I've been just again eyeball test. I would think that Kalon Black is their number 2 running back. He looks good, and I would even go this far. I don't think the 49ers have had a backup running back that is capable of doing the same stuff that McCaffrey can do. Having a backup guy who can do the same stuff since Kyle and John have been with the 49ers.
Really?
Well, I shouldn't say that because early on, I mean, McCaffrey came in 2022. I don't think they have since McCaffrey's been here. They haven't had a backup running back.
He's a black McCaffrey?
A Kalon Black McCaffrey.
The white guys always get that. Oh, he's a white so and so.
Yeah.
A white so and so.
Well, you were a basketball player. You were a very heady player. Like, you were
very heady.
Yeah,
I was a
savvy,
coach's son, and I was a gym rat. I was a gym rat. And I was sneaky athletic.
Yes, sneaky.
Sneaky athletic is my favorite
Yeah,
one.
that's a pretty good one.
As soon as somebody says someone's sneaky athletic, they're white.
Yeah.
It's automatic. I've never seen a sneaky athletic black guy. Never. But I've seen a bunch of sneaky athletic white guys. It's like a classic.
Yeah. So McCaffrey, he does everything in that offense, and let's just use the last year as an example.
Last year is like the Pop Warner kid. He's the best kid on our team. Just get him the ball every time.
Yeah.
Every time, get him the ball.
Just run him into the ground.
Exactly.
And there were even plays last year where, McCaffrey had been, run on, had touches on 8 straight plays, and Kyle Shanahan on a 3rd and 4 or whatever it was calls a play and looks up to see McCaffrey coming off the field. And he's like, No, you got to get back on because I'm not calling that play with Brian Robinson, or he'd call a timeout.
Yeah. Get him up
This
below.
year, I don't think I would be surprised if there's any situation this year where Shanahan has a play called, looks up and sees McCaffrey coming off and Kalen Black going on, because that's basically either the running back can take himself out if he's just totally winded, or Bobby Turner can sub guys out, the running backs coach. So I don't think there will be any time this year where Shanahan will look up and see Kalen Black on the field and go, well, I can't call that. He's a good route runner. He catches the ball very comfortably. I've been really impressed with him. And the first thing I looked at when they drafted him was like, he must be a terror catching passes out of the backfield. Indiana, he didn't do any of that.
James Madison, he did, didn't he?
James Madison, he did. And then if you watch his one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl, and then just watch him in 49ers practices, you wouldn't think that is a liability, catching passes out of the backfield, and you would go so far as to say, God, that might be a strength of his.
Wow. All right, James Madison nickname.
They are the Dukes.
Yes, very good. Like it.
Yeah.
You know who
Are
else
you
I
gonna
think
quiz
of?
me on any other?
Well, you'll know this one, I'm sure. Albany.
They are the Great Danes.
I love the mascot.
Yeah, that's a
the
good
Great Dane
nickname.
mascot.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Are they? How many purple teams? Are they purple and yellow? I think.
Well, you get East Carolina.
Oh, James Madison's purple and yellow, aren't they?
I thought James Madison had some gold in there too.
Or yellow gold. It's all the same.
East Carolina is
East Carolina,
purple.
the Pirates.
The
yeah.
Pirates. Yep. I don't know who else. Washington.
Yeah, true.
The Huskies are purple.
Yeah.
Northwestern. Purple.
But they don't have any gold. Aren't they purple
Well, I
and
thought
black?
you just asked for purple.
Oh, okay. Well, all
Good
right.
Lord.
We're changing. I'm
You
moving the
do-
goalposts.
Yeah, you're
aren't you?
moving the goalposts. Oh, TCU, purple.
Yeah, but no gold.
No. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry I can't get you purple and gold. I could just get you. It's hard enough to get purple.
Yeah,
It's hard enough. Not a lot of purple
there isn't.
purple schools out there.
State is purple.
Purple. Yep, they are. Kansas State
well,
definitely purple.
Evanston,
gold.
right? Aren't they the?
Evanston.
Is,
You mean Northwestern?
no, I'm sorry, Evansville.
Oh, Evansville.
The purple
Yeah,
aces,
the purple
right?
because they wore the sleeves.
Yeah.
Remember the sleeves they used to wear?
Yes, yeah.
Those were the worst because the Warriors had those. And
Did it affect your shot?
I didn't play in them.
Okay.
I missed that era, but it was about 2-3 years they had sleeve. Nobody liked them.
Oh, they had the black.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they had the gold ones too. I have a
Like-
picture of Krug with the bad look on Krug. Krug, I love you, but it was an awful look. Like you literally had to be an NBA player to wear those jerseys because they were form fitting.
All right.
Oh, the Schmedium?
Yeah, nobody has an NBA player's body unless you play in the NBA. Like very, very few people. So when you put on that jersey and it's like shows everything, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
And you
That's
hope
rough.
you hope the arena isn't cold.
yeah, exactly. You get the ice cutters.
By the way, this
LSU?
LSU, yeah, purple and
oh,
gold.
yeah. There we go.
You like
By
that.
the way, this is it's the Chipotle is subtle enough.
If you can feel a little bit in
You
the
can
back of your
feel it?
throat,
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
yeah, no, I like it too.
You're a fan?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be my come home and unwind beer necessarily.
No, but it's a nice one to
Yeah,
try and
absolutely.
have
Mix it up.
occasionally. You know what? Mexican food.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to set the template.
Yeah, should I give some to Lulu or probably not? Huh?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We don't want to.
Well, if she licks it, she might give you a snot in return, and
Yeah.
you don't want that in your beer. You don't want a floater. It's not like a Boilermaker. You don't want that thing sinking and then drinking.
No fiber in that diet.
No. Where's Kittle at? You think Kittle's going to be playing in Australia?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Obviously he's making tremendous progress, and he got activated off the PUP list. And no one's told me this, but I'll just kind of read between the lines of how I interpreted some of the stuff he said the last time we talked to him. I did ask him, like he was very non-committal
Okay.
toward week 1 in Australia. I did ask him, now this was probably 5-6 days before he was activated off PUP.
Yeah.
I asked him, like, you were non-committal about week 1, but what are your chances of being of not starting the season on PUP, and he said, "Oh, I'm very confident there," and he won't start the season on PUP because he's off PUP. That would have meant he would have been out for the first 4 games and then available week 5.
Okay.
The other thing I asked him was, if you're not going to play in that game, would you still travel to Australia? And he didn't think about it. It was just an immediate answer of that. I don't think that would make much sense.
Yeah.
So clearly to me, he's thought about it. It's been talked about. And he also just kind of unprompted did offer up, if I'm there week 1, great. But if it has to be week 2 and that gives me a better chance to play the rest of the season, that's a better alternative.
Yeah.
So when you think about this, the Achilles tear, there's been plenty of instances throughout NFL history and recent history where guys have returned from Achilles tears. So they have all the documentation on that. But there hasn't been, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but I'll say it anyway, but there hasn't been a precedent for a guy coming off an Achilles tear and playing week 1 in Australia. With the 16-hour flight there, the 17-hour flight back.
Yeah.
And so it just seems to me that if he stays back in the Bay Area, he continues to strength train, cardio, everything else, that, just the physical therapist work, that gives him 10 extra days to be ready for week 2. Plus, he avoids 33 hours of flight time in between. To me, that makes a heck of a lot more sense. I was just St. Mary's, tying it all together. I was just talking to Mickey McConnell, the St. Mary's basketball coach. They just took a trip, St. Mary's did, to Australia. And he said that it's more difficult coming back from Australia and getting acclimated again after being over there for a week or 2. They did a summer tour.
Yeah.
Just recently got back. So I'm just thinking that because there's so many unknowns with the recovery, along with the Achilles stuff and everything else, in my mind, and again, I don't know which way they're leaning, but I feel, reading the tea leaves, that it makes a lot more sense for him to just stay back, continue to get stronger and stronger, and then week 2, let's go.
Yeah. Is the offensive line settled?
No.
That's not great.
No, it's not. Four spots are settled.
Yeah.
But
left guard
is not. And even when it is settled by them saying who the starter is going to be, I don't think it's settled.
Yeah.
I
could be ongoing.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think it's the odds are definitely against the person that they have starting week 1, playing the entire season all the way through.
Got it. That's something, because I said that was one of the biggest keys for me, is being able to run the ball better.
Yeah,
They will.
I think they will run the ball better.
Well, just because the bar is so low.
Well,
last year is pathetic.
Yeah. So in the thing with that would be too, it's, you like to have competition, but you also don't want to have competition, because whoever is going to be starting at left guard is going to be someone new. It's either going to, Connor Colby started 6 games last year.
Yeah.
But guess what? Connor Colby, second year in the NFL, he could use a lot of work that he didn't get because he was in a competition. Carver Willis, the 4th round draft pick, if he was going to be the starter, it would have been really good for the 49ers to put him in there and let him get better and better and better. And then you introduced Robert Jones, who now has, an injury, so he's out for a couple of weeks. On Thursday night, last Thursday against the Chargers, they put Austin Pleasance in. He gets injured.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is, if they had just one guy that they were like, let's ride with this guy, at least that person would have had all the reps during training camp and the preseason, working with the ones that would have put him in a better position to be able to go out and play an NFL season.
Yeah.
So by making it a 2-person competition into a 3-person competition, into a 4-person competition. Like Trent Williams has got more reps, and they try to limit his pitch count. He's gotten more reps at left tackle than the left guard will have gotten, and that's not good.
That's not good. That's not good. I'm going to run a joke by it. See.
Oh, boy.
Listen to see if you recognize
Okay.
where I'm coming from. There's a few people that get this because it's from a movie.
Okay.
See if you know the
I'm not
movie.
great with movies.
Okay. What kind of name is Pooney anyway?
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Are you a Fletch guy?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. What kind of name is Pooney? It's Comanche Indian. There's like 2 people out there that are like laughing. They're the only ones that get it.
Those people are
They're
so
like,
thrilled.
oh, he did the Fletch thing again. Well, my buddy, Craig Bergman, because he loves Fletch too. Every time he comes over, we talk about Pooney. I go, what kind of name is Pooney? Comanche Indian.
Is he watching right now?
He's probably not. I hope not.
He's probably seen all your bits.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Like I know that one. All right, I want to get to. We'll circle back to Purdy, but I want to get to the defense. How big a concern is Bosa's knee? 'Cause to me, it seems like something that could be an on again, off again thing.
I mean, it's got to be a concern because it's Nick Bosa. It's the knee that he had operated on. And, I mean, maybe some people will be throwing, you like coconut cream pies?
I do.
Yes, some people will be throwing coconut cream pies at their screen. But I think he's the most important guy on that defense, even more so than Fred Warner.
Don't throw him at the screen. Send him to me.
Okay.
I love coconut cream pies. Coconut cream pies are awesome.
But I think that just...
And I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's tough to say that because I think Warner's a better player. And that's even tougher. Yeah, no, I think Warner's a better player.
But defensive end's more positional value.
Yes. So I think for the 49ers, Bosa is the most important guy on that defense. And he was last year. When he leaves the lineup week 3, I mean, he was probably the leading sack guy for that team up until like week 12.
Yeah.
After only playing 2.5 games. And we saw it. Like 17 games, 20 sacks, that's unacceptable. You can't win. How the 49ers did as well as they did last year.
It's a mystery. It really is.
Unbelievable.
We couldn't believe every single week I'd come on and go, I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, I really don't.
And then to win a road playoff game. That to me is, I can't, it's amazing.
It was an amazing season.
So all that said, Bosa is still, he's the most important defensive player. I could almost say as Bosa goes, so goes the 49ers defense. If he's playing at a high level, I think Osa Odighizuwa is a really good player, by the way.
Yeah, he's
going to have, I would suspect he'll have like career best numbers this season. And then on the other side, who is it? Romello Height? Yeah, we'll see. Rookie.
Where's Williams at in his recovery?
He'll probably start on PUP, so he'll be at least 4 weeks in, I would imagine.
Got it.
So yeah, anytime there's anything with Bosa, you wonder. Same as like McCaffrey. Anytime there's anything physically, keeping McCaffrey off the field. Now the 49ers have been really cautious with their guys. Making sure that let's not fight through stuff in practice. Let's wait until it matters. So it looks like Bosa is doing okay. There's no reason, to press it. He says that he's been through this before with the tendonitis in his knee after one of his previous ACL surgeries back in high school. So but
how many damn ACL surgeries has he had?
Is
that 3. The 3rd?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Third. Yeah.
I can't.
He's wound so tightly.
I was gonna say the same thing. He's like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like any little thing goes wrong, it's like, It's just like, and I have this argument with people, all athletes, NBA, NFL, baseball. Guys are so finely tuned now that if any little thing goes wrong, you got to take them to the shop. They're not like the athletes used to be. They were more like pickup trucks.
Yeah.
They're like, foot's bothering me a little bit, but I can play. Elbow, I can play. I can get it. Because I think these guys work out 12 months a year. They keep themselves in such great shape that when something, and look, ACL is not little, but when anything goes wrong, I think these guys just like, they're used to functioning at 100%. and when they can't, it's tough for them. I really feel that way in sport. I feel that way strongly in sports now.
Well, I mean, you can. Again, I'm not a. I mean, you can be bigger, faster, stronger, have tons of muscles, and you just be
Kind of like you and I.
yeah, absolutely, like be a Greek god like we are,
Yes,
but ligaments and bones remain the same.
remain the
And
same.
so just the torque on all of that is completely different.
Yep.
And like, to your point in baseball, like I would imagine, the late great Tommy John, I would
Yes.
imagine there are so many more Tommy John surgeries because of the torque on guys' elbows.
I agree.
When guys are throwing 97 to 101 consistently,
Yeah.
that doesn't lend itself to longevity.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So I mean, so let me. Okay, we both agree that Bosa is the most important. May not be the best, but he's the most important. Collins, is he always going to have a trouble with leverage? I mean, he's just so massive.
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
Absolutely.
Like Armstead was tall, but Armstead didn't really have that problem. I don't know if Armstead was a little more athletic. Armstead was great, by the way, for those that don't remember how good he was. Him and Buckner. That's when that was like. That's what anybody wants as a defensive line. Ford, Bosa, Buckner, Armstead. You're like, you're good to go. But he was able to work around his height and get that leverage. I don't know if it was like technique, hands, quickness, whatever. It just seems like a lot of times Collins gets caught out leveraged, and I'm wondering is that something that's always going to be an issue with him?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, he's been in the league now. What set him back last year, he didn't have an off-season program. But yeah, I mean, I would think, it's not that easy at that, at his size
Yeah.
to learn how to, bend effectively and still generate the power and be comfortable. I mean, it's like, like anything, that's the Mike Tyson,
Did he get punched in the mouth?
yeah,
Everybody has a
you
plan?
kind of revert back to
Doing what you do.
what's natural.
What's worked for you?
I don't know how many times through the years, a quarterback, he's worked on his mechanics and he's tightened up his throwing motion and, he's done this and he's able to spin it and you watch him on the practice field and you're like, oh, yeah, it does look a lot different. And then once a game starts, it's like, oh, I don't see him doing that. No, it's just guys are what they are.
Yeah. How's West doing?
I think the other day, he's been kind of in and out. He has that lower center of gravity. I think he's going to be he didn't have a great season as a rookie, but who does? I think he'll be just fine. He's a good, third defensive tackle, third or fourth defensive tackle. Yeah, no, I think he'll be fine. They'll have their rotation of, 8, 9 defensive linemen. They're playing a lot more 5-down fronts, so they're going to be using more guys. Man, I think that's part of their thing is when you look at their defensive line, they have 2 guys that are significantly above average, and that is Nick Bosa and Osa Digizua.
Yep.
After that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Those guys might be kind of, as far as NFL defensive linemen, they might be right around average. So they're going to have to mix and match. They're going to have to scheme it up where guys are only doing what they're comfortable doing and what they're good at doing. And they're going to, Raheem Morris is going to have to scheme it up too. With those 5 down fronts, it's not just one-on-one, go beat the guy in front of you. There's going to be guys dropping. There's going to be guys, whatever. They're going to have to generate confusion for the pass protection on the other side to get a half a step head start on, whatever, interior offensive lineman, not knowing who's coming and then, this guy's coming. So they're going to have to hit edges and they're going to have to scheme that thing up because I don't think they have a large number of guys who are just flat out there, go win your battle and win a football game.
Can height be a reasonable facsimile to D Ford?
Yeah, but D Ford, here's the thing that would concern me if I'm a 49er fan about Romello Height. He was in college for 6 years.
Yep.
He was at a lot of different stops, finished up at Texas Tech, and it was only at Texas Tech his final year where he had draftable sack numbers.
Yeah.
Well, he also had David Bailey and Lee Hunter on that defensive line.
Yes.
So he had like, 2 NFL players on a college line, and he had 10 sacks. He's undersized. I think there's a role for him quite clearly, and they will need him to play well. They'll need him to play a lot. But that's one I'm kind of like a little bit skeptical about how he can make an impact right away. He's kind of an undersized guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have great length, so it'll be difficult on him. But what I'm talking about with Raheem Morris and scheming it up, if he can get that half step on a left tackle or a right tackle, then he'll have a chance to get some free runs at the quarterback.
How's Greenlaw looking?
Like Dre Greenlaw,
Same?
mixing it up. Yep. He hasn't practiced a whole lot. I think quite clearly they're kind of tapping the brakes on him too. But it's like he and Fred Warner never left.
I love the fact they brought Greenlaw back and Debo back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the production will be what it was a few years ago, but when they left, you lose some of that physical play where you're just like, I think when you watch
his attitude.
Yes, when you watch, and Kittle's part of it, but Kittle never left. But when you watch those guys do what they do, you can't help but be inspired as a teammate. Like watching them run through stuff, fight for an extra third of a yard, which Kittle does, which I don't know if it's the smartest thing, but that's who he is. That's what he does. That's what Debo does. Greenlaw is just a maniac, and like he's going to get some 15-yard penalties this year where you're like, what are you doing? Because that's who Greenlaw is. But he's psycho, and he's out there. Like, I thought they missed a little bit of that, like some of that like crazy physical, like we're just going to beat the crap out of you.
There's no question. As good as they ended up being last year, what I did not see what they were lacking last year was like butt kickers.
Yeah.
Guys who wanted to mix it up and set the tone. Guys that, when Debo was playing at his high level with the 49ers, like defensive guys would stand up and watch the offense play because they were inspired by him. And the same thing with the offensive guys watching Dre Greenlaw.
Yep.
And so it's that mindset. It's the setting the tone. And those two guys, that's why they're back with the team, because there was more than just what they do on the field from yards gained or tackles or anything else. It was also a mindset that those guys had, that they brought, that, again, I don't want to bash last year's team because it ended up being a really good team, all things considered, but they didn't have anybody last year that just made you sit up and take notice and go, oh my God, that guy's taking nothing from anybody.
Yeah. What's the safety position look like?
Malik Mustafa has been out for a while with a hamstring injury. That would be an area where they need more playmaking, no doubt about it. I think Jair Brown's had a good camp, but he's the thing that would be concerning from the 49ers standpoint. He's never locked down a starting position. He was the pick in, his third round pick, but the first pick that they had that year, that was the Jake Moody year 3 years ago.
Oh, the Moody year.
The Moody year, yeah.
Well, the Moody year.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever described it quite like that.
The Moody year.
But they didn't have their first or second round pick because of the trades for Trey Lance and Chris McCaffrey, and then their first pick came late in the third round. They took Jair Brown and then later Moody. I think those guys are going to be fine, but they've never really shown it to the point where you just lock it down. Malik Mustafa should be and will be a starter, but he's got to get out there and play.
Yeah. Green has seemed to have made some strides, has it?
He has.
I don't know. I'm just watching. Go ahead. They need him to, and it seems like he has.
They do. So last year, after his rookie season, he came in basically running unopposed. He had nobody pushing him, and he wasn't awful, but he wasn't as good as they expected him to be. And, we saw it like in that playoff game where Kyle got after him about some stuff. And, he's a little bit, the difficult kind of personality to read too with him. So this year in the offseason, they went out and got Jack Jones. So he's a veteran. He played, he's basically started every game the past 2 seasons in the NFL. 1 year with the Raiders, 1 year with the Dolphins. And he makes a lot of plays, gives up some as well. But the idea was, hey, maybe Jack Jones is better than him. And if so, then they've improved that position. But also it was light a fire under Renardo Green, so that if he wins that position, it means that he's earned it, and that by default would mean that he's better than he was a year ago. And I think I saw that. Yeah, Jack Jones has made a lot of plays. He's always getting his hands on the football at practice. And then Renardo Green has really elevated his play. And in that preseason game last week, he tweaked his hamstring. So I don't know how long he's going to be out, but that did open the door for Jack Jones and open the door for the possibility that Jones will be the starter week 1, because Renardo now is a little bit iffy with the hamstring. And at that position, I would think that, you don't want to rush a guy back from a hamstring. So, what I've seen, like Darrell Luter's had a good camp. They look better at the cornerback position this time right now than they did last year at this time. And so they have, with Renardo Green, Diamador Lenore, Upton Stout as the nickelback. I think those are 3 solid guys. And then Jack Jones is close by. Darrell Luter, who's done well. And then the rookie that I don't think they want to give up on, and he's done well too, Ephesians Prysock from UW, a school that has purple and yellow. Or is it purple and gold?
Purple and gold.
Purple and gold.
Purple and gold.
What's the difference between gold and yellow?
I don't know. What's the difference between green and lavender?
Well,
they're different colors.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. Good point. So, anyway.
You should have had a V8.
I should have. Stribling. I should have known. Stribling.
No, I did not know that.
So, anyway, I do think that their cornerback situation is considerably better. And part of why they had 6 interceptions the entire year last year. By the way, my phone is blowing up. I wonder if there's 49ers news.
Something happened? Is there news? Can we break news on the show?
I don't think so.
Ogden, can we get the English pale ale?
Okay,
yeah. When you have a chance.
It's
the monkish one.
The what?
The monkish one.
Okay.
It's like the black can.
I mean, is that Torrance?
It's an English. Yeah, it's an English pale ale. I'm curious. I've had it.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious to see what you think of it.
Okay.
Kind of bready.
Yeah, that's what I need for that gut of mine. Anyway, I do think that 6 interceptions, just like 20 sacks, unacceptable.
Yes.
But they're kind of tied together. More the 20 sacks is a reflection on not getting pressure on the quarterback.
Absolutely.
And also the 6 interceptions, kind of a reflection on not getting pressure on the quarterback.
Yep. No, I totally agree. Is the special teams going to be like, thank you, sir, going to be just we wanted to think about special teams again this year? Because last year special teams was good.
Yeah.
They brought some people in, like just special teams guys.
Yep.
Coach, players, let's get, and then once they got the whole Moody experiment over with, brought Pinheiro in.
You remember that Moody draft?
Moody draft. I felt bad for Moody too, because like when you draft a kicker that high, it just puts more pressure on someone where the position is all pressure. And now everybody's like, we're a 3rd round pick. You got to be good. It's like you got to feel like you got to make everything. Anyway, but last year was.
By the way, he's already flamed out with the Commanders.
I know, it's brutal.
Yeah, it is.
Like, who was the other guy? Roberto Aguayo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second rounder for Tampa.
Same thing.
See ya. The only guy that really was like Janikowski was a 1st rounder, and he was like, he ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he should have made that 75-yard field goal, though.
Kiffin. A classic. But last year was like, you'd have to worry about special teams.
Until the divisional round game where they gave up that.
Yeah, but they were going to get crushed. I didn't think about it because they were going to get crushed anyway. But the 3 years before that, and it wasn't just Moody. It was like, these guys stink at special teams.
Yeah, it was
everything.
everything.
It was punt return. It was kick. It was everything. everything like going to be calm again this year? You think?
I think so. Yeah, looks like to me Jacob Cowing will be their punt returner.
Did he win it on that 83-yard punt return?
I think he won it
They're
just,
down Arizona,
just
by the way.
merely on being able to field a punt cleanly.
That was the bar?
Well, look at the other guys.
You got the job. Can you catch? It's coming. Got it.
That
you
is
got it.
that's
hard.
That's not an easy
It's
thing.
not easy.
And,
it's not.
and
It's not easy.
No, and also
We couldn't get within 5 yards of the ball actually coming down.
and I wouldn't want to because I'd
Can you
probably-
imagine if it hit you in the head?
Oh,
It'd
that's
probably
what I was
kill
thinking.
us.
Yeah,
It'd kill us.
especially if it was a
I
spiral.
definitely need a helmet on to do that.
Yeah. But, you look at the other guys who are competing for that job, and none of them have done that job before. Even in college,
Yeah.
Jordan Watkins and Will Pauling, this undrafted rookie from Notre Dame, they put Debo back there last week. He's never returned a punt in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so at least what Jacob Cowing has going for him is that in 2024, when he was a rookie, that's what he did. And last year right around this time last year they traded for Sky Moore, and he did it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't very good his rookie year with Kansas City. A lot of muffs, a few turnovers, and then I think, job number one: don't give the ball back to
That's
the other
it.
team.
Yep.
And then if you look at what he did as a rookie, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad at all. He had a nearly 9-yard average, which is good.
Yes.
Very good. And I don't recall, him struggling with catching the ball. So I think that's going to be him, just because he's more of a known commodity than the other guys.
Yeah.
And then I do think that, last year Thomas Morstead, veteran guy, was he 40 years old or 41? There were a couple of games where he didn't even get off the sideline. He didn't punt at all.
Yeah.
But when he did, he wasn't very good either. His net average was way
Was
down
it?
there.
Yeah.
And then this year they have Corliss Waitman, who's a left-footed punter. And again, we're going to get into the weeds. Bill Belichick always liked to have left-footed punters
Because
because
it spun differently.
the ball spins differently, it tails differently,
Yeah.
and it might be good for 2 or 3 or 4 possessions a season with a muff punt. And we saw that in the game, was it the first game when the 49ers played the Titans, one of their guys mishandled one of his punts. So they do have some special teams specialist guys, backup linebackers, backup defensive backs who can do it. So, and I think Debo's going to handle a lot of kickoff returns.
Yeah.
So they should be on par, if not better, than their special teams last
Yeah.
year.
I will say this: you put me back in my playing days, I could field a punt.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely,
Off
absolutely.
a lefty foot?
I don't give a shit. Lefty, righty, I don't care. Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? Left
Well,
foot,
if
right
you can
foot.
field-
I
if you
could
can
field
field
both
punts,
of them.
then
Now,
you
could I
can-
field them with
Then
people
you
running
can go
at me?
the gold jacket. You
Yeah.
can be in Canton, Ohio.
I could now. People running at me, different story.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you put me out there, I could have done it, and it's great to be able to say that because no one can prove me wrong because that was
Yeah.
30 years ago. So there you go.
Also, like the decision making is so big, when it comes
Yeah.
to punts.
It's
Because,
huge.
And that's what it is.
It's the punts that you don't catch. You're like, oh, I'm going to run up. No, I'm not. And then you
Yeah.
lose 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, 49ers lost the NFC Championship game because of that.
Yep.
With a guy who wasn't a proven punt returner. And then even last week, a very small sample size, but, Debo Samuel, called for a fair catch at the 12-yard
Yeah,
line.
I saw that.
And when he caught it, which was the right, you don't let that bounce, but when he caught it, there was nobody around him. So, are you going to put him back there to do that? Probably not.
Probably
but you'll
not.
put him back there to do kickoffs.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the two guys we skipped over. Kind of two pretty big cogs on the wheel, McCaffrey and Purdy. I would think that Kyle is going to use McCaffrey less this year. But every game you get into, you're trying to win that game. And if you think McCaffrey is your best chance to win that game because he's one of your best players,
Yeah.
you're probably going to use McCaffrey. So, it's like, what are you going to do? It's like, I bet you the plan is to something happened. Did I miss that?
Well, you kind of the head there.
No, it's okay. That's the way you're supposed to pour.
Okay, like
Yeah, no.
that much?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
I think that was a
Ooh.
clip in our.
Ooh, that smells good. That
It's a-
smells
yeah.
piney.
It does. There's.
But I
yeah,
thought this was an English lager.
it's an English pale ale.
Oh, English pale ale.
Yeah.
By the way, somebody on our
Oh, wow, that's good.
chat talked about the piney
Yes.
Chinook.
Chinook.
There we go.
and-
Isn't Simcoe one of them? Simcoe's one of them that's piney, isn't
Not
it?
Citra?
No, I don't. I don't think Citra. I don't think Citra's piney.
Chinook and Cascade.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what their old
Sim-
school was.
Simcoe is like the third listed.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
that's
Simcoe.
Great. Good.
Yeah,
good knowledge.
that's the one that I remember.
Uh-huh.
Simcoe, but yeah, I think Citra is like kind of fruity, and so is like a lot of the Australian hops.
Okay.
Or that's what everybody wants to drink nowadays. They don't want to drink piney and stuff.
They don't?
They don't.
Well, we're
I
drinking
do.
This. Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
No, I like piney.
Well, this is an interesting one because I'd never had like
this
when
is,
English pale. It's monkish.
Monkish,
I've never
okay.
had an English pale. Like, wonder what the difference is. But when you taste it, you'll know.
And you know what? One of the great things about, well, okay, let me rephrase that. I was going to say there weren't very many good things about COVID,
Okay.
but one was I would get a shipment of beer all across California like 2 times a week. You know, and I think
Yeah.
Monkish was one of the ones you turned me on to.
Yep.
So, you know, you wake up on a day and you get a case
No.
of beer.
Yeah,
Do
it
they
was-
still? How do you get that? Is that just
They deliver
local?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, in
they still-
California.
they still do it.
California,
They still do.
you get. Remember during COVID, you got Cellar Maker,
Yep.
Great Notion,
Yeah.
Santa Darius. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll do COVID all over again
Uh-huh.
to get beer. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
That was a great silver lining. Like most people probably wouldn't agree with me.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah, you know,
I
they-
mean, put all the pain and suffering aside.
Yeah,
COVID
exactly.
was great for you.
Yeah, it was great for me. You kidding me? Like I was living life during COVID. Like I was in there. Whoop whoop. Here
You
comes
were
some-
like right
Here comes
here.
some beer on Thursday, baby.
You were social distancing from yourself.
I was, and everybody loved that too. So
Okay.
to me, it's just a let's wait and see, because like what you said about Kalen Black, I thought was interesting. That like he'll be able to run the plays that McCaffrey could run, but it's still McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And in critical situations, in a big time game, you're going to want McCaffrey out there. Kyle knows he has to kind of he can't do that again, but each and every game is a different opportunity to win, and you want to give your best team the best chance to win, and that usually includes Christian McCaffrey. So how do you go about factoring
Yeah.
all that in? Like, I'd love to rest him, but I also want to win this week too.
Yeah. Well, and it's all, I imagine they go into it every week, thinking
Probably.
like, oh, let's get Kalen Black or Jordan James X number of touches, but then if you're in the middle of the third quarter in Australia and it's a tie game,
Yeah.
and your offense is moving,
Yeah.
how difficult is
Yeah.
that on Kyle Shanahan and whoever else is making those decisions to say, hey, rookie, get in there. I mean, I see it. They've been saying this, and this was probably the most adamant that Shanahan was about. They need to get McCaffrey off the field. They need to keep him fresh throughout the course of a game, throughout the course of a season. I do think, man, the 17-game season now, I mean, it's been a while now, but, we saw it, I think, with McCaffrey last year. As good as he was, and he was great, the production did taper off toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
He was on pace for 1,000 through a lot of the season, and it just felt like there was just a little burst missing there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think everybody realized what you said is absolutely true. In theory, it's great, make it happen. But when you're in a game, especially against an NFC West team, it doesn't matter. A win is a win
Yeah, it doesn't
in the NFL.
matter.
It doesn't win. It doesn't matter. But it does make it difficult. What Kalen Black has to do, and I think he's doing it, is to not just show that he is capable, but also prove to everybody on that coaching staff that he's capable. Now, there's I kind of liken it a little bit to Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. There's no question Brock Purdy is the best quarterback on that team. No question. But also, Mac Jones proved that if Brock Purdy were to miss 8 games, he can keep it afloat. He can win. They can win 5 games of those 8. So even though Brock Purdy's clearly the best quarterback, and there's a drop off, but the drop off is not so significant that you can't just win a game.
Yeah.
That's what Kalon Black and/or Jordan James has to prove, is that yes, there's no question. Whenever McCaffrey is off the field, they're not going to be as good. But that difference between McCaffrey and the next guy, where it might have been down here, maybe it's up here. And so they can still do some good things with Kalon Black out there that, they didn't have the whole arsenal of the playbook available to them. Even Jordan Mason was a really good running back.
I like
that
Jordan
year.
Mason.
But you know what? He was very limited. He wasn't a factor in the passing game. He just simply wasn't. And so he was a good runner, and everybody knew that, but he didn't do all the things that Kyle Shanahan wants his running backs to do. And so even though the running game was really good in 24 without McCaffrey, the other areas that position theoretically brings to the table had a significant drop-off.
No doubt about it. And it wouldn't surprise me if Kyle's thinking, you know what, maybe we have to overuse. How do you like that beer, by the way?
I like it.
It's interesting, huh?
It's
different.
It's sneaky athletic. No, it's good. Yeah,
That's a very good observation. I like that. I
that would be a blonde ale. That would be a sneaky athletic.
I wonder if Kyle's thinking, you know what, maybe we might have to use him a little bit more against the Rams. And then who do they have? Miami and Arizona?
Miami. Yeah. So they have.
You're thinking.
Well, they have
Is
Miami,
it
Arizona, Denver. I think is in that
that's
first
a tougher
block.
one. But
Yeah.
those other two are ones you're thinking, you know
you would
what?
think.
Maybe those are games we can save some carries and save some touches. And
Yeah.
it might not work out that way, but I think going into it, you think, okay, these are the type of games that we could get people in there. And I know it's not like the NBA where you look at games that way. There's only 17 of them. Is our computer burning up?
It's a little hot.
We get a blanket, put it over that thing. You can put the put the pillow over it.
Okay. Just trying
What-
to be preventative.
There you
here,
go. Yeah, we don't need something on fire as we're doing the show.
What you're saying is relevant, except for in the NFL, as with any, teams are often at the end of the season. It's not did you beat the good teams on your schedule. It's did you destroy the bad teams on your schedule. And so, those, as we mentioned earlier, the games against Arizona and Miami are just as important. If you give one of those games up,
Yep.
you're kind of swimming upstream the rest of the time.
No, I agree. But I still think coaches look at it as, like let's say the Warriors were playing the Pelicans when they were really bad. Steve might think, well, maybe this would be a game where Steph only has to play 24 minutes to win the game.
Yeah.
It may not turn out that way.
Right.
You may have to play 38
Yeah.
to win the game.
But then
going in,
do you want to go in thinking that way? Because then it kind of wouldn't you rather be working from a position of this is
I think it's hard
not
not to look at it that way though. Because if you're trying to limit minutes or limit touches or limit innings, right? In baseball, where you're like, we're up 7-0 after 6. Let's go ahead and get him out of there. We don't need 30 more pitches.
Let's put our left fielder in the pitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, I think I'm going to need a break.
Need a break?
Yep.
So you need the restroom?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
That's okay. I'm outlasting everybody. Way to go. Good job. Okay, so go in.
Yep.
House.
Yep. Is Lori here?
Yes.
Okay.
She's upstairs though with the.
Should I just
you know what?
go in there and scream at her?
Do you mind a really, really messy garage?
No. Do you want me to just...
Just don't. Try not to look at it. It's really disgraceful in there. Go through there, go in the door,
Yep.
and go straight, and you'll run right into the restroom.
Oh, perfect.
And I'll stay here. I'll hold down the fort.
Okay. Do you want Lucy to sit in for me?
Yeah, she can if she wants to. Lucy says no. Lucy can join. We'll talk Oregon football. We'll see what they got going on this year. No, but it really is tough for coaches to try to get these guys rest and try to get them fewer minutes. Because I know, you look at the way the NBA is nowadays, nobody plays 40 minutes anymore. Like, there were guys that used to play 40, 41 minutes back when I was playing. I'm not saying that's the smartest thing, but I also think there's got to be some flexibility in how much you play guys, when you play them, the intensity of the game, all that kind of stuff. But usually guys now, like the top end guys, are 36 minutes, 36 to 37 minutes. And there are games that you look at and you think, well, this could be a game we could get a rest for some of our heavy minute players. Again, to Matt's point, you don't go in thinking, I'm going to do that, but it is in your mind. Like, this could be a game we could get a guy out of there early, maybe play him 31 minutes, save him 5 minutes. And with McCaffrey, you're playing Miami, you're playing Arizona, you're thinking maybe we can get him 5 fewer touches, 8 fewer touches in this game because we should be that much better than Miami. You don't start off that way. You start off with the same philosophy you have against every team. Dominate early, win the game early, but thinking that if we get up 17-3, 24-3, then I can start incorporating some of the younger guys and get them some snaps. And because with guys like McCaffrey, you're looking for ways to limit the workload throughout the entirety of the year. It's not just about one game. It's, can you save 10 snaps here? Can you save 8 snaps there? Can you save 6 snaps here? Can you do it? It's always you don't look at the garage either. A terrible garage.
The garage is not bad. The garage is not bad. That's the way a garage should look.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. All right, let's talk about Purdy.
Yeah.
I think I might have asked you this last year. Are we done with is Purdy a good quarterback now? Like, after last year with all the weapons that were out, and he came back at the end of last year and did what he did, like, are we done with this now? Like, are we like beyond last player picked? He doesn't like look the part. He doesn't look like a strapping quarterback with a big rocket arm. Like, can we just say, like, this is, other than Allen, Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, maybe Stafford. I always put Stafford in a different category because he's a little older. He doesn't have as much time left. Purdy's as good as anybody. I could argue Purdy's as good as anybody. You may like Herbert better. You may like Hurts better. You may like Caleb Williams better. You may like whoever. But I can argue that Purdy's as good as they are. Like, I think Purdy has proved, like, how good he is consistently over the last few years. Are we done with that? Do you think we're done with that? Is that like a thing of the past? Like, if Purdy has a bad game, people aren't going to go, there it is. That's what I was talking about.
I will say that after his first 147 pass attempts of the season, we'll be done with it.
Why 147?
Because that'll give him 1,500 pass attempts for his career.
Okay.
And that will qualify him for the all-time lead in passer rating. And right now, he is at 104. And the two guys who are the all-time rating leaders are Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson at 102.2.
So he'd be number one.
He'd be number one.
I can add. Look at me. Look at me go.
Yeah, that was good.
104 is more than 102. That was fantastic.
Yeah. And yeah.
You know what I started? You know what I jumped on a couple years ago, and it may have been 2 years. I guess it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was 3. I'm not sure. I looked? I think it was 2 years ago. His yards per attempt was over 9.
Yeah.
That's always a big stat with me, yards per attempt. So I looked over the history of the sport, like how many guys have had yards per attempt over 9 yards per attempt for a season.
Yeah.
I think Manning did it once. Brady, I don't think ever did it. I think Montana did it once, maybe twice, but I think once. I think Steve Young did it maybe once. Like, the point is, all these great quarterbacks Like that's elite stuff. Having 9. Now again, eras are different, so I get that. Like comparing a stat from now to 1995 it's different, but it's a baseline. And I was like, wow. Like you look at the guys over the course of NFL history, like let's say the last 40, 50 years, there's just not a lot of guys who have had a season where they've had 9 yards per attempt. And I think he's had 2 of them. Like one was a shortened season. And I was like, what is everybody missing about like what?
Well,
And it was a bias.
yeah, absolutely.
They already decided what he was based on how he looked, how he threw, and where he got drafted. And that's where they were going to go.
I would say more where he got drafted.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, like Mike Sando does a really good job at the Athletic, putting together his quarterback tiers.
Yep.
But he's asking coaches and general managers or personnel people like to put together those tiers. And if you're a general manager who passed on Brock Purdy 6 times or 7 times, and you didn't think he was very good then, you're going to not recognize what he's doing
That's
now,
a good point.
right?
That's a good point.
I mean, who in professional sports ever wants to admit that they were just flat out wrong?
Way wrong. And the Niners missed on him 6 times.
They did. That I would say you could make an argument for Brock Purdy being the best draft pick in the history of the team, as well as the worst draft pick in the history of the team. Because if they thought he was that good, why do you wait until the 7th round, the final pick in the 7th round to take
Because they
him?
didn't think he was that good.
Exactly.
Just like the Patriots didn't think Brady was that
Exactly.
good. Yeah, exactly. Like it just sometimes the thing with the draft is you don't know everything you need to know about a guy.
Yeah.
And you can't know.
And with Brock, he's fascinating because he is, even when he was a rookie, he was about as solid as a guy as you've ever wanted to be around. Almost like kind of too good to be true
Yeah.
kind of guy. And it's funny, my very first impression of him when he came in a week or 2 after he was drafted, I thought, oh my God, this guy is kind of cocky. Like he thinks it's kind of felt like he was better than what he really is because he was the last pick in the draft. But he's the exact same guy. Like that. He had that inner confidence. It was he talked the same way that he does now, but it hits differently when you're the last pick in the draft. And I really appreciate what he's done, or just really admired how he's gone about it. From day one, he's just taken the limited number of reps that he got during that first training camp and showing enough to impress Mike Shanahan,
Yeah.
as well as Kyle Shanahan. But I don't think the 49ers knew. 49ers had no idea what they were getting when they drafted him. I mean,
Of course they didn't.
They thought they were getting Nick Mullins,
Yeah.
and Nick's still in the league. Nick's fine, but this guy is, this guy's. I don't know how you want to grade it as far as top 10 or whatever, but I'd say if you're taking a quarterback for your particular team, and yes, he's not as physically gifted, he doesn't have the arm talent as some of the other guys, but if you're taking a guy for each particular team, he's at near the top of the list for guys fitting their teams. And I know the whole thing is system quarterback. Well, every quarterback better be a system
Of
quarterback.
course they are.
Yeah.
Of course they
And
are.
so, I mean, as good as we could probably go down the list of quarterbacks and how they fit their teams. I mean, Brock Purdy's got to be top 3 or 4 or 5
I
in
would
the
think
NFL.
so. I categorize him this way. You could win a Super Bowl with him.
Well,
I mean, they've already been
they
to one.
damn near did.
They damn near did.
They had the lead twice in the fourth quarter and once in overtime in the Super Bowl. So if that doesn't prove that the Chiefs had a 4th down play in overtime to keep that game alive. So all it took would have been, now the other part is, instead of settling for field goals in that game, had they scored some touchdowns in the fourth quarter, then But yeah, of course they can win a Super Bowl with him.
And not because the talent around him needs to be great. He can help them win a Super Bowl. Like there are guys that have won Super Bowls. You're like, well, great defense, great running game. They didn't have to do a lot. He may not be, and again, he isn't. Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Allen, those guys who are just like what can carry them to their teams to a Super Bowl. I don't think he's that, but he's right below.
Yeah.
Like I look at him, Brent Jones and I talked about this. So much so, you like that English pale ale. I like that. And then maybe next
I
we'll grab
do.
the milk stout. We'll try that one. We'll get him back to a dark beer.
That's down below, right?
Yeah, it's in the white and blue can. That he reminds us of Montana in certain ways, and we almost felt like every single time we said that we had to say, okay, look, we're not comparing him to Montana. We're just saying there are certain aspects of his game that remind us of Montana.
Yeah.
Because every time you say Montana, people are like, oh, what?
Yeah.
What you compare it? No, listen to what I'm saying. There are certain aspects that remind me. I don't say it compares to him, but it's hard not to look at him sometimes and think, wow. Like you can almost like if you squint like a little like this, you can see a little Joe like doing some stuff like that because they're not super athletic, but they are athletic.
Yeah.
They're not big arm, but big enough arm. They're really savvy, and they just kind of they move and like it just it's pretty wild too.
Yeah. You remember 3 years ago when I said that Sam Darnold might be the best thrower of the football the 49ers have ever had?
I do.
Yeah. And that I mean,
do.
and that
I
got
remember
I got tons of grief for that because people are like, "Oh, you're saying he's better than Montana?" I'm like, "No, I'm not saying he's better. I'm saying this physical
What are you
tool
talking about?
that he has might be the most talented thrower of the football. Just that. I'm not saying he's a better quarterback." So that's kind of what you're talking about. And by the way, I just talked to Joe Montana on Saturday.
Did you?
And I asked him what impressed him most about Brock Purdy. And he might, it could have easily have been me asking a question to somebody else, what impresses you most about Joe Montana?
Really?
Joe Montana described himself. He talked about his cool under pressure, how he doesn't get rattled. Like in those, Joe Cool was saying this. So it's kind of like that, just he knows how to play the game. You don't make mistakes. You take what's out there. No matter what happens, you remain composed. And it was kind of interesting. But there is similarities in that if you lined up 50 quarterbacks and just watched them throw and run or whatever, the measurables, Joe was a third round draft pick.
Yeah.
Those guys wouldn't be, when you're choosing teams, those guys wouldn't be the first picks. And NFL people who are paid to choose teams did not make them their first picks. But they also have they're wired differently. There's something there, the way they see the game.
Yep. They can both lead.
They're
Got to be a
both
leader.
very good leaders.
Yep.
Very good leaders. And kind of similar in that way where it's not, was Dan Marino was a in-your-face leader.
Yeah.
Grab offensive lineman by the face mask. Well, I think both of those guys had a little red ass in them. That they can get after guys, but they pick their spots, and they pick their spots very effectively. Here's the thing that our friend Greg Cosell, love Greg. So
Greg.
This was probably 15 years ago. 49ers played a game in Philadelphia, and I was flying in, and I was like, "Hey, Greg, I'd love to come out to NFL Films and hang out with you." And it's like, "Oh, absolutely." So I think I flew in. So I landed on a Friday morning. Eagles and 49ers play on Sunday. So he's like, "Oh yeah, come on in and we'll watch film together." And so I remember this like it
That
was
must have
yesterday.
been fun.
Oh, it was awesome. And this is before, all 22 was a thing, for the general public.
Yep.
And so the Thursday night game, the game the night before was Jacksonville against Indianapolis, and Peyton Manning was the quarterback. And so forever, I remember, Steve Young telling me and telling you in the NFL, You don't throw to the open receiver, you throw the receiver open.
Yeah, correct.
And I never really got it until I'm in there with Greg Cosell, and he's having me do something, he's watching the film that came in from the night before, and then he goes, Matt, you got to come here and watch this. So I pull up my seat right next to Greg, and he has, the big screen, he's got the clicker in his hand, and he has it paused right as Peyton Manning is here. And he goes, who's he throwing to? It's paused. And so I can see all 22. And I'm looking at the screen and I'm going, okay, well, not that guy. He's covered. Not him. He's covered. And so my answer was, I think he's throwing it away. Like, I think that, even though, there's pocket was somewhat clean, he must be just throwing it away. He goes, okay, watch this. And you could see, Greg is getting excited. So he hit play, and let's just say that the defender was here, the receiver is here, but the receiver's running this way.
Okay.
Manning threw it over here to this receiver. And I'm sure it's a play that happens 7 times a game for Peyton Manning. But it was like the anticipation. It was seeing where the defender's hips were turned, and all this stuff, all this calculus goes into it. And it was like the most amazing, like just one play that it's just whatever. It's probably a 25-yard gain, but it was like so eye-opening to me, because then I saw like what Steve Young had been talking about all those years.
Yeah.
And now when I watch Brock Purdy, from the first day that he stepped on that field against Miami, it was like, oh my God, he does that. He's able to take all those things into consideration, know what route his guy is running, at what speed he's going to be running, where the defense is, what the defense is, what, 2 deep, whatever, man, whatever, cover 3, whatever it is. And he's able to make that split-second calculation to where the ball should go to be where his guy is and nobody else is. And it changed my way of thinking about the game of football from the quarterback perspective. And, a couple of years ago, it would have been 2 years ago, Cal played Miami at Memorial Stadium. And Cam Ward was the quarterback. And I don't really follow college football until basically after the season's over. But a friend of mine said, hey, my daughters knew Cam Ward from when he was at Washington State. We're going to go to the game. Do you want to go see? And I was like, yeah, Cam Ward, he's like, oh, he might be like, a top pick in the draft. Oh, okay, yeah, definitely like to see him. And so what I saw was a guy just running around, making great plays, highlight plays. But there was not one point in that game where he back foot hit the ground, boom, ball comes out. And so my comment was, I don't think he's the first round draft pick. Like, I didn't see him do one thing in that game against Cal, and they were down big and they came back and won.
Yeah, we were watching
I didn't see him do one thing that translates to the NFL. Like running around and making plays.
Yeah.
That's a college thing. That's a high school thing. That's not a pro thing. And of course, he's the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm going, okay, well, I guess I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
But now I'm
not be wrong.
I'm not so sure I was wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And so it's the anticipation. It's knowing, it's being a system quarterback. It's knowing when your back foot hits the ground on a 3 or 5 or 7 step drop, the ball's going there.
Yep.
And it's making those. It's not running around and having defensive backs cover for 7 seconds and then finding a guy off script. That's not how you succeed in the NFL.
No doubt about it. I think one of the things that illustrates that to me is when you see a guy running like a little slant or maybe even a little out, and a quarterback throws it, and it could be really anywhere on the field, but he throws it behind the receiver. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, that's a terrible throw. And then you watch it from behind the quarterback. You're like, well, he put it the only place he could.
That's a back shoulder throw.
Because he didn't worry about the receiver. He's worried about where the ball was going in relation to the defenders. Mm-hmm. And I remember talking to Steve Young about this, and it was back when I was playing a lot of Madden video games, and I haven't played Madden forever. And I said, you know, what was interesting? Like, to me, when you're watching receivers, you miss what's happening in the defensive backfield. And I asked him, I go, when you're a quarterback, do you watch the receiver or do you watch the defenders knowing where your receiver is going? And he goes, oh, yeah, I absolutely watch the defenders.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to know where they're going to be. I already know where my receiver is going to be. So if I watch them, I know where I can throw it. And that's where the expectation is, as you said, that quarterbacks expect you're going to be there.
Yeah.
That's why it's so fine. 8 yards or 9 yards.
Yeah.
What's the angle of your cut? You cutting in, you cutting out. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? I need to know. Like, quarterbacks need to know where you're going to be precisely at that moment because that's where they're throwing it.
Yeah.
Because they're not just waiting for you to get open because you might not get open.
Yeah.
They want to know where the defense is going to be. So if I know where you're going to be and I see the defense move into that passing lane, then I won't throw it there because I expect you to be there, but he's already there. Then I can go look somewhere else. It's a really it's so complex. It looks so easy on TV. You see these things, you're like, oh, he was wide open, and then they switch the angle, and you're like, oh crap, how did he even see that?
Yeah.
I have no idea how he. Why would he throw it there? Like people everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's great. That's awesome though to be able to sit down with Greg Cosell and watch the
it's
film.
great. And Dwight Clark told me this story the one time I was asking him about
Can we grab
the milk stout.
the milk? Do you want to try that? Or you want?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to that.
Dwight told me one time, like, what made Joe so great in his eyes was, he's running whatever, a comeback route or a route where he would kind of sit in zone coverage. And Joe was so precise that Dwight knew that wherever he threw the ball, he never threw it to here.
Yeah.
He would always throw it to the side where he wanted Dwight to turn.
Yeah.
So if he threw it here, he knew the defender was behind him over here. If he threw it here, he knew the defender was over here. And wherever he threw it, he knew to just turn and run. And so I don't even know if this is a thing, but if I were a pro scout evaluating quarterbacks, I would only look at, in college, so many guys are wide open.
Yeah.
I would.
As Steve Young says, in college they're always open.
Yeah.
In the pros, they're never open.
Yeah. So what I would do if I were a scout, a pro scout evaluating college players, is I would just start with the Greg Cosell freeze frame here.
Yep.
And where's he throwing? If he's throwing to a guy that's 5 yards open, I don't care. That play's irrelevant to me. But if he's throwing right here to a field of the all-22 where you can't immediately tell who's open, okay, now we got something.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, it's such a complex position
Because it's anticipation, it's timing, it's accuracy.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, before we wrap it up, let's get to the coach and the general manager.
You had him here. When
I did.
When did you have him?
A couple
here?
months ago.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
And
Well, they actually went over to my neighbor's house, scared the hell out of them. They popped up
did
in the
they
driveway.
think it was like Halloween? Like, oh my God, we got two guys dressed as John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan.
No, the guy
here.
thought he asked Kyle if he was Rich Gannon.
That
He
happened.
goes, "Are you Rich Gannon?" Yeah, that's my neighbor, Dave over there.
Wow.
He
Okay,
goes,
so we're in. You.
well,
know,
they pulled up in a Tesla,
That's-
tinted windows and everything, and then my neighbor was like, "Yo, who are these guys?" And there's Lynch and Shanahan popped out.
Oh, that is so great. Everybody knows where you live, right?
Well, not the address,
Well,
but
no,
they know
no,
I live in Alameda.
Okay, so you've lived here how long?
Close to 30 years.
Is this where all the Warriors live? Nelly, did he live in this area?
No. That's about a mile from here.
Okay.
That's a different place. That's Brittany Landing. That was over Mully, myself, Mark Grabo, who was our trainer at the time. We all lived there. So, yeah, it was me and Mark. And then Mark, I think, moved out, and it was me, Mully, and Nelly that lived over there. I used to go over to Mully's house all the time. We watch Andrew Dice Clay videos. and Nelly walking his pig.
That was before YouTube too.
Yes, exactly. No,
You'd
no,
have
we've been
like the DVDs.
No, I don't. That you would have loved that house though.
Yeah.
It was like just like a little townhouse, and Lori was living in Southern California studying acting, so I was up there by myself, and I think I had a couch, table, dining room table, the big screen TV, sweet ass stereo, and then I had a.
So in those days, how much did that
and I had
big screen TV
I had
weigh?
a porcelain panther sitting on the ledge that just like looked over the room. Total dude thing, right? Let's look at a panther and stick it up there and see what that looks like.
Where is that panther?
Oh, it's gone.
Ah.
Yeah, panther's gone.
The big screen house that
Panther's
weigh
gone.
like 200 pounds.
Oh God, it was massive.
Yeah.
It was so big. And then we used to have Madden tournaments on Thursday night. We'd play a season, 16 weeks. Me, Jim Peterson, Judd Bushler, and some other friends. I think there was like 6 of us. And then we'd go and sit down and have beers and on a Thursday night. And of course, if we weren't playing, have beers and play Madden. And then we had a big like a board that we'd keep our scores, and we'd have playoffs and championships and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's classic. It was awesome. I love living there. But once we had Walker, we needed a bigger place, so that's when we came out here. So, but we didn't do the backyard for a while. Cheers.
Yeah. So
Let's
this
see
is
if you like this one. This is a milk
This is
stout.
the final beer of
Yep.
the Tom Tolbert Show.
Yes, it is. We're done with this. We're done with the show. This is a good one too. Ogden's got the big boy, the Clear Skies. That's a good one too.
That was good. I was. Family went to Italy for basically 8 days.
Oh, did you? Where'd you go?
I have relatives there, so
You do?
non-English.
I know you're
relatives.
Italian, but I didn't know.
Yeah, it was great.
Non-English speaking relatives?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it was great. But we went to Rome. We
Okay.
went to Lucca, Cinque Terre, and then my relatives are about, I don't know, we'll do miles, like probably 50 miles outside of Milan.
Okay.
And then went to Last Supper and all that stuff. And then we went to Ireland.
What'd they serve
What
at the Last Supper?
I think vino.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think.
But could have been better.
Yeah, there's.
I want to go to Rome.
There's got to be a few.
I want to
good
go
jokes.
to. I want to go to Rome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Rome is like.
Wait, you did that. What's the
Well,
well?
did you like Rome? Yeah, Rome is unbelievable in that everywhere you look, there's like something.
Yeah.
You know, and
The history.
the history, but it's very
You
tourist.
just walk down the street.
Yeah,
Everything over there is older than our country. It's
yeah.
like,
No,
it's
that's
like
right.
wild.
Yeah.
The water system too.
Well, they have the drinking fountains. Are you talking about that?
It's
Yeah.
like cleaner than anything we have here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
no,
you been to Germany?
not well. Yes, but not any time in the last 30 years.
Oh, okay. I went last year when me and my buddy went for like 10 days. I mean, history. Like, we love history.
Yeah.
History. Germany for history is like just incredible.
Yeah.
Just
some,
like-
some good.
Well,
Most not good.
not great, but it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the fact that when you're in Europe, you can just like go to like in a week you can go to 7 different countries.
Right,
Just like, we went to Luxembourg for lunch.
Wow.
We're like, what do you want to do for
Probably could
lunch?
have driven
Let's
all
go
the
to
way
Luxembourg.
through Luxembourg and back.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wish we would have gone to Belgium because I just read a book called The Longest Winter. It's about the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
And we could have gone, but it just went north for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We could have gone to the Ardennes forest and didn't. And I wish I would have done that. Maybe one day we'll get back there. But
Yeah.
it's just everywhere
Yeah,
everywhere you look, you're like, oh, that's older than our country.
Yeah.
That's older than our That's older than our country. It just it never stops.
Yeah.
Never stops. It never ceases to amaze.
Yeah. So we went Italy, and then Lucy went to Barcelona for 6 weeks of study.
Oh, nice.
And then my wife and I, and then our oldest daughter went to Ireland, and I drank so much Guinness in Ireland.
No.
Guinness and
looks like a
Murphy's
Guinness.
and Beamish. So this is
What's Beamish?
It's basically it was the city of Cork. It's their like if you're in Cork,
That's like the big one, right? Dublin and Cork.
Dublin,
Those are the
Cork.
two big.
Yeah, we went to Galway.
Okay.
too, and Dingle. We had a great. I mean, it's so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I hadn't. I drank more Guinness in those 8 days than I had in my entire life up to that point.
Damn, we just ripped for a week.
Well, here's the thing about Guinness.
It's only like 4.8.
It's very low.
It is
in
very low.
alcohol. Yeah.
People think it's high because it's dark beer.
Yeah.
Like this is only 6.
Yeah.
This beer you're drinking right here is
Yeah,
not
this is
very
good.
heavy.
This
yeah,
is really good.
Really, really good. I like it a lot.
How about the soccer game or soccer stadium you went to? I saw you
Yeah.
post about that.
Yeah, so it was kind of fun. Like I think my wife gets a little bit frustrated. Like everywhere I go, I want to go to a sporting event. And it was our last day in Dublin, and I found like, hey, there's a soccer game over here. We did the Guinness tour, and I think she was kind of like, non-committal. Like, okay, I'll go because you want to go. That ended up being probably one of the best nights we had.
Really?
Yeah, because we went to this. It was I think it's their top league of soccer.
Okay.
But it's very small, and the stadium is old stadium, held like 4,000 people, and it was packed. But then after, she's like, okay, we got a flight tomorrow, and I was like, well, let's go to the pub across the street for one Guinness.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
One turned into 2,
Turn into
3,
6,
I think 4.
4.
But it ended up being one of the highlights of the trip. With the home team won, so people were fun and singing to Irish folk songs, and
Yeah.
it ended up being
That's awesome.
like one of the really cool experiences. And my wife was like, "Oh, that was so awesome." So
That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of I really enjoy, and it's anywhere experiencing sports.
Yeah,
Sports is great. Like I don't care what the sport is. If it means a lot to the locals, I want to soak that in.
Did you bet on the game?
I did not bet on that game.
Oh, okay. See, we went to a soccer game in Frankfurt.
Uh-huh.
Me and my buddy, we had to bet on it. We're like, we're here. We got to bet on
And
it.
did you?
Yeah, we bet the over. We won.
Okay.
And the home team won too.
Oh, well, that's
I
better.
was like,
You
we're
don't go-
going crazy. They're
Yeah.
going crazy.
You
We're like,
can't bet
woo,
against the
woo.
opposing
No,
team. Yeah,
not when you
no.
don't have a favorite anyway.
Oh, you gotta.
But
yeah.
trust me, I'd have been going crazy if the away team would have been scoring goals. I just wanted
You
goals.
want
Like, give me some goals. And I think Frankfurt won like 4-1 is what it was. Like it was like 2-0 halftime, and then they came out and scored like 2 quick goals in
And
the
you
first
won your
8 minutes.
bet
We
right
won our
there.
bet. We're like, we won. We can just sit back and drink and like watch the people wave the flags.
Are you
and...
going to like the sporting books there? Are you doing Kalshi or what are you doing?
No, we're just. I know a guy.
Oh, you know a guy. You know
I know
have a guy in every.
I know a guy. No, I'm not doing the Kalshi. I'm not trading,
Yeah.
which is basically just betting, but they're saying it's trading. All right. Keys for the 49ers. If they have a good season, this will happen. If the season falls apart, this will happen.
Well, I think we touched on Bosa. I think Bosa is a huge key to this team. I think if he gets double-digit sacks, it is on for the 49ers this season. Because then other people that will automatically open things up for other guys. I think that's a huge key. I think that the offense is going to be top 5 in the NFL. Regardless. I mean, obviously the injuries would, that's been a thing, but I think the number one key is Bosa's productivity. If he can have double-digit sacks, that'll kind of clear the way for everything else. That's pretty simple.
I like that.
That's pretty simple.
But I agree.
Because
I agree.
Like I said, I think the offense, regardless of how much of a mess it looks like at left guard, how that team last year with basically no wide receivers, Juwan Jennings was injured. They didn't have any threats on the outside. Kittle missed, 6 games.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's rushing average was low. And they still were like this number 7 offense in the league.
Yeah.
I think they have 3 wide receivers right now that I would put who are better than their top wide receiver of last year.
Yeah.
I think Stribling, Evans, and Debo are better, will be better than what basically, their top receiver last year was Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
So I think the offense is going to be fine, and they will figure out a way, even if there's a gaping hole there at left guard, they'll figure out a way to make that work. I think it is all about the pass rush. Third downs, getting after the quarterback, putting hits on the quarterback, generating some level of discomfort for opposing quarterbacks, which will help the defensive backfield. And if it's not Bosa, I don't know who else it is. So I think that 49ers, if Bosa has a really good season, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. No, I like that you went micro, because I was just going to go macro and say they need to stop the run better. Their run defense the last few years has been brutal. It hasn't been good. I don't know if Odighizuwa is that guy to stop the run. I think he's more of a pass rushing guy from the defensive tackle position. But you got Greenlaw back. Yeah. You got Fred Warner. So, I mean,
I think the scheme too. I mean, if you're having 5 down fronts, it's going to be difficult. The offense is going to have to attack it schematically different.
Yeah.
Than they would. And then if you have Warner and Greenlaw kind of cleaning things up, they should be better stopping the run.
It's going to be a hell of an NFC West, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is. I would be willing to make an argument that the 3 best teams in the NFC are in the NFC West.
I think you could be right. All right, I asked Mike Silver this yesterday. I'll ask you the same question. Let's see if you can. Let's see where you rank. I said rank these divisions in terms of their coaches.
Oh boy. Okay.
NFC West.
Yeah.
AFC West. NFC North.
Well, I think McVay, Shanahan, and McDonald are about as good as he gets.
Better than Harbaugh, Peyton Reed?
God, it's so different. It's old school, new school.
It is.
Let me think about this.
And in each division, you got one unproven guy. You got LaFleur in the NFC, and then the AFC, you got Kubiak.
Kubiak, yeah. God dang it. I'm going to go new school.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, because Harbaugh, Reed offense, Peyton, I was calling him Manning, Sean Payton offense.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's more of a CEO head coach.
He is.
And I look at the guys in the NFC West, Shanahan offense.
McVay
offense, McDonald defense, and those guys are so freaking good at what they do. Yeah, I'll go NFC West.
Okay, and they haven't won as much, but is there a weak link? Like, if we don't know much about Kubiak, we don't know much about LaFleur.
Yeah,
you could say they're the weak links because you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
But what about the NFC North, where you got LaFleur?
Yep.
You got Campbell.
Yep.
You got Johnson, and you have O'Connell.
That's pretty good balance. I'll put it this way: the 4th best guy in that division is better than
exactly
the 4th best guy in those other 2.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
Yeah.
But
what did Silver say?
I think you both had NFC North 3rd.
Okay,
but I think he had AFC West first.
Okay,
because of the Reed's won twice and Peyton's won once.
You know what? Mike has a different perspective. He's so tied into the NFL, so he knows Sean Payton very well.
Yeah.
He knows Andy Reid. So he, I haven't spent much time around those guys, but the new school guys, obviously I've been around Shanahan for 10 years, and I've up in Tahoe, I spent a little time around Mike McDonald, and I was just like kind of, and the Hard Knock stuff, kind of been blown away by just how good he is. Yeah. Just his, I don't know. He doesn't come off like a guy with like great presence.
Yeah.
But he does have it.
Yeah.
And he knows when to be, to put lay down the law too. And then McVay is one of these guys that have always kind of like, he's almost like in league meetings and stuff. He kind of walks around like Kyle Shanahan's little brother.
Really?
But I mean, how can you argue with the success he's
No.
had? And I was just doing something today. I went through every team in the league. There are 18 teams in the NFL that are basically running the same offense, or at least have, the Shanahan McVay lineage.
Huh.
18 teams
Wow.
in the NFL. It's wild. And what you might, and when I say that, the first thought is Kyle Shanahan. But there's a lot of Sean McVay. Now, Sean McVay also coached under Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
So there's that branch of it. But, so many guys in the NFL now are, spent 2 years with Sean McVay, and now they're the offensive coordinator here.
Yeah.
But it's 18. 18
Wow.
of the 32 teams
Wow.
have direct descendants from that tree. And a lot of them are, since McVay's been in LA.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Speaking of Shanahan, I was going to ask you this. I got taken off track. I can't imagine, because we were talking about him and Steve Kerr, how fans want to get rid of both of them at certain points, which makes me laugh. Especially now that I see the separation between like ownership and what football ops is doing and how they're kind of left to their own devices. I kind of, not that there's no hot seat for these two. I mean, is there any thought of like, hey, if they don't win in the next few years, I mean, things could change. Because Reed did what he did in Philly, never won. They went to, I just think Kyle's like, sometimes you got to go through and just say, things happen and we haven't won, but we have somebody that like, if we let him go, he'd have a job in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like,
Well, yeah, no, probably 5 days, because like 10 teams would be involved trying to get him.
Exactly.
And so there'd be a lot of,
I mean, I just think it's like sometimes you lose to Mahomes twice.
yeah.
Could they have won one? Could they have won both? Of course they could have.
absolutely.
But like, I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
you stick with it. Like, is there any thought you think that like, not that they could be in trouble, but and hot seat's not the right terminology, but they need to win a Super Bowl at some point.
You know what? I would almost think that, at least in the near future, the only way Kyle Shanahan is coaching another team is if he goes to 49ers ownership
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
says,
thinking.
you know what? I think I'd like to
Yeah,
go coach another team.
yeah.
I don't, because, you kind of touched on this, but if you're the 49ers, does it make sense to fire a head coach and hire someone who's worse?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're getting
No,
at here.
it doesn't.
I don't think it does. and I know, the times are different. When Eddie DeBarlo was the head coach or the owner, and they went 2 years without winning a Super Bowl,
Yeah,
it was heads were rolling.
exactly.
And I the story goes he fired Bill Walsh 10 times.
Yeah.
And then rehired him, or whatever. They just never. I mean, the worst mistake that Eddie Barlow could have ever made was firing Bill Walsh 2 years or a year after they won the Super Bowl. So there needs to be patience. I think people today, they understand it, salary cap and everything else. I don't see Kyle Shanahan leaving the 49ers in the foreseeable future unless Kyle Shanahan says, and if he went to Jed York and said, you know what, 10 years, 11 years in, I think this has run its course. I think it would be good for the organization and good for me then it would happen.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be ownership. Now, here's the other thing is, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, there are teams that are good that get rid of their coach. There are teams that are bad that keep their coach. So much of it is the feel. Like when you walk into that building, what does it feel like? is there dysfunction in the organization? Are guys excited to go to work? And you can feel that stuff.
Yeah.
You can feel when a change is needed. No doubt. I mean, I'll take the Harbaugh years, for example. I mean, if you look at the win-loss record, there's no way that Jim Harbaugh shouldn't still be the coach.
Yeah.
But there are other things going on, and you could feel it when you walked in that building. Where there was dysfunction in the general manager, the head coach, everything. But you can feel that, and it's palpable. There's none of that with this organization. It just feels like we talked about it earlier. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are very much pulling in the same direction. Does that mean that it's always going to be like that? Of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, it could middle of the season they could be, 3-7, and there could be bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
But until that happens, in my mind, I don't see an end in sight necessarily to that.
All right. The most important thing we got to talk about before we get out of here.
Rank the beers?
No, we can do that after. But I'm glad you brought that up. Should we forgive Randy Bennett?
Should we
Forgive Randy Bennett?
Yeah, I mean, Randy's done so much. God,
But he fucking went to ASU.
he did. Well, but that was his.
ASU.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a bias
ASU.
here. There's a bias here.
Yes, of course there is. All right, should I forgive Randy Bennett?
No, you should not.
Okay, fuck you, Randy.
I'm
I
sure-
love you,
oh,
Randy.
He's watching right now. You
oh
know
yeah,
he is.
definitely. He's definitely in Scottsdale right now
Yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
God, I love the guy so much. It's
Yeah.
like not ASU. Don't do that. I get it. I think look.
Oh, he would have.
do
He
you-
would have taken if Tommy Lloyd hadn't been the head. He would have taken that.
I
in
don't
a
think
heartbeat.
that was going to happen. It's funny when people go, "Well, Arizona." I'm like, well, they have Tommy Lloyd. I think they're okay.
No, before Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, I think he would have.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Arizona, yeah.
Don't you think it like the NIL contributed to this? Like he
I
thought,
think a lot of things.
look,
did.
I can't keep my players
oh.
here anymore. I want to go somewhere where I can not only keep players, but I can bring players.
I think it. I honestly think he felt, based on what Gonzaga was doing up there and where his program was, he felt like there was a legitimate chance. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I think he felt like, you know what, they can. I'll say in Randy's voice, I think we can win a national championship or compete for a national championship at St. Mary's.
Yeah.
I think he felt that because Gonzaga had put themselves on that level,
Yeah.
and St. Mary's was competing with them and beating them. And when Randy left, over the last 4 or 5 years, St. Mary's won more games head-to-head against Gonzaga.
I know.
That's wild, isn't it, to
Yep.
think about it? But I think all things considered, I think Gonzaga leaving the conference,
Yeah.
St. Mary's not being able to get into the new Pac-12, it in NIL and everything else just made this the right time for that. And his parents are
Yep.
in Arizona, so there was a point a few years ago where I thought, I think he's going to stay here forever.
Yeah.
And then once everything, the new landscape of college basketball, I got it.
Yeah.
There were many opportunities for him to leave. He never did. But this one kind of lined up.
Yeah, I don't like when people bring up the his parents were there though, because I don't give a shit. Like, what do I care about? I don't care your parents are there. Like,
Yeah.
don't try to like tug at my heartstrings. Like, oh, that's a nice
Yeah.
story. Like,
yeah, you think
no, I don't
Lucy's
care.
you think Lucy's moving back to the Bay Area whenever, like when she gets a little bit older because of her parents?
No,
Not a chance.
of course not. Nor should she.
No.
Nor should she.
Unless there's a Cholita Linda close by, then she will.
I love that you guys are going to Cholita Linda. That is awesome. All right, before we get out of here,
right.
since you brought it up, let's rank the beers.
This
So,
one's
hold
really
on.
good.
We had.
Okay.
These are the beers we had.
Yep.
We had 3 Fieldwork.
Yep. Okay.
We had-
Well, hold on. This is sponsored by Fieldwork, though,
Yes.
right?
That's
Isn't there a-
okay. We,
is
we,
there-
we, we can drink other beers.
Okay. Here we go.
But we have the Monkish English Pale Ale.
Yep. Okay.
We have the Chipotle Porter.
Okay.
We have the Milk Stout. And we have the Instant Vacation.
I'm going this order.
How do you rank
I
them?
really like this, the one I'm
Okay.
drinking now. I thought this one was very unique
Okay.
and nice. I did like this one as well, and I'm not a sour person, so that's my
Well, I
order.
appreciate you drank it.
Yeah,
If
no,
you're not a
I-
sour person, I
yeah,
appreciate that you
yeah.
like choked it down.
Yeah. But no, that would be my order. How about yours?
You know what? I might have to agree with you. The only, oh man,
What was that sound? Was that?
it's probably a kid that got run over.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I think
should we take like
I
oatmeal
think
stout for the kid? That
I
got
think
ran
I would
over?
go. I'm going to agree with you
Okay. Yeah.
because I wanted to do something different because I didn't want to be. But I was
Yeah.
going to go.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair.
That's all I was going to go.
Just I
Now,
would say
I
this.
w- I
I could
w-
drink this. I could drink this every day.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
this has
and then-
been good. But no, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
That the milk stout is fantastic.
Yep.
The
Very good.
Chipotle Porter was really good, but not something you're going to drink every day.
Right.
But this one you could. The English Pale from Monkish is solid. I could, like this to me, could go anywhere because I do like sours and I like coconut. So it's perfect for me. There's another one I have in there called Aloha Vibes, which is it's a red beer. It's kind of like a little more fruity than a coconutty. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Since
Maybe
you're
next time.
since you're not a sour guy. I do like sours occasionally. But I think we'll both agree not only is this the winner out of all the beers here,
Yeah.
and this one, I like this one too.
Yeah.
But this one, you could drink this one every day
Yeah.
if you like stouts. The Cow House
Yeah.
Milk Stout from Fieldwork is and just a classy can too.
That's a good.
The
can.
white and blue. It's a
That's a
good. It's a
good
good
can.
looking can.
Yeah.
Look, you got the cow.
Yeah.
Just out in the field.
Yep.
They're eating curds and whey or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do they eat curds and whey or is that
Well,
I don't know
they
who that
chew on their
was.
cud.
Yeah, they cud. That's what it was. Cud.
Yeah.
Now, what the can doesn't show you is right out here. There's like a wolf. It's probably going to take the cow down at some
Well,
point.
I don't know if
but,
wolves do that to cows.
Well, a wolf pack can do that. I'm not sure if one wolf will do it, but either or, very good beer.
Yeah.
The stout is very, very, very solid. So it's interesting. The two beers we both chose were the dark beers. We
Yeah,
both got the porter
Yeah.
and the stout, which I like. And every time I think of a porter, I think of Caddyshack. Shine my shoes, Porterhouse. Like, I love Caddyshack. Caddyshack's amazing. Now, what I didn't bring out for you was the lager, which is really good too. And the
maybe you'll
IPAs,
send-
which
maybe
you
you'll
don't-
send that home with me.
yeah, I
By the
can't.
way, you have hummingbirds here, man. That's a big hummingbird.
Oh, I got
Holy cow!
They
look at
love
that.
these two
That thing
plants.
like weighs 5 pounds. That hummingbird behind us. That is
Now,
a huge hummingbird.
you could have seen.
Where's the bunny, by the way?
You and your daughter could have seen the bunny, but
Oh no!
we didn't bring the bunny out.
Did a wolf get
Why
it?
didn't I bring fucking wolf? I mean, I live in Alameda. What do you mean did a wolf
Well,
get it?
you said there's a wolf right over
A
here.
wolf lives in Alameda, jumped over the fence and grabbed my bunny and took off. It was a big gray wolf. Like, oh shit, what's a wolf doing here? No, but
Those things can
but
swim.
But yeah, thank you. No, so I went for a walk today, and as I was walking, 4 houses down in the tree, there was I think it was a falcon, could have been a hawk, but a bird of prey nonetheless. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't need any birds of prey in the neighborhood. I got a bunny running around. Like, I don't need to walk outside and see the hawk, like, flying away with a bunny in its talons.
Or Lulu.
My bunny. Nah, Lulu's too big. She couldn't get Lulu. She wasn't that big. But we don't get a lot of birds of prey in the neighborhood that looks like crows. We did have bald eagles here a couple years ago, which was wild. But anyway, so Bunny stayed inside today, just as a precaution.
Yeah, no, I got
Now Bunny hides under this.
Uh-huh.
Bunny hides behind the bushes. So the hawk, falcon, whatever, probably wouldn't have seen Bunny anyway.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to take that chance.
Yeah,
So I told Bunny, I went in there, had a little talk with her.
Yeah.
Said, look, you usually go out around 10. I'm going to keep you inside today for your own safety.
Yeah. She understood.
Man, she said, fuck that falcon. I got it. And I go, no, you don't. You think you got it, but you don't got it.
Yeah.
I got the falcon's going to tear your ass up.
Sometimes a dose of reality is good for a bunny.
So I just said, here's a little more food.
Yep.
Here's a little more water.
Yeah.
Give you a couple pets.
Yeah.
You just got to take the day off.
Bunny eats a lot of carrots.
Okay,
So
she
Bunny
didn't-
could have seen the bird of prey coming.
Well, yeah, except for her eyes are on the side of her face. She sees this way. She can't see up. She doesn't have a cyclops eye on the top of her head where she sees the falcon. So, yeah, she wouldn't have seen. I did a little reading on bunnies and said when you pick bunnies up, they don't like to be picked up
Oh.
because they're prey animals. And prey animals don't like to be picked up because they feel like if they're being picked up, they're being taken away.
Yeah.
And that's not good for them.
No, that's not.
Can you imagine? I mean, just imagine this. You're walking down the street one day.
Real dark.
Like, just imagine this.
Yeah.
You're walking on the street one day, right?
Yeah.
You're going to Cholita Linda.
Sure.
You're like, hey, we're going to go to Cholita Linda.
Yep.
You get out of the car.
Yeah.
And right before you go into the restaurant, something grabs you by the fucking neck
Yeah.
and just drags you up in the air and takes you to a nest
Yeah.
and just eats you alive.
Yeah.
And like you thought you were going to go for some nice fish tacos.
Yeah.
Can have your daughter and everything is
Yep.
all great. And all of a sudden you're sitting there, entrails going everywhere, and you're just fucking getting torn up by this raptor. And you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, that's what the bunny's dealing with. That's what the bunny's like. I'm a prey animal. This
Yeah.
could happen to me at any moment.
Yep.
Can you imagine living your life like that? Like, any moment you could be killed by a carnivore, a
Yeah.
wolf, even though there are
Yeah.
no wolves in Alameda, the falcon, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're dead.
No, that's-
you're dead. It's
Fascinating.
terrifying.
Yeah. Now, I would say this, that if I were a bunny, I probably wouldn't have access to like Instagram accounts that show that stuff happening. So I think it would just catch me by surprise.
It would.
Yeah.
But it'd still suck nonetheless.
It would suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
As
be
you're getting
horrible.
taken away,
Yeah.
as the earth gets smaller and smaller and smaller,
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
then-
you have birds of prey up there fighting for you.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That wouldn't be good.
And they can't even like give you a shot to euthanize you and then eat you. Like, they gotta eat you while you're alive.
Yeah.
It sucks.
All
At least
right.
give me some-
Thanks, everybody,
at least
for
give me some-
watching.
at
We'll
least
end
give
it
me
on
some-
a up note here.
Give me some pain medication. This is gonna hurt.
Are we still streaming live?
Oh yeah.
Of course
Yeah.
we are. Thank you so much.
Tom, thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes.
I always love having. So I guess we'll plan for next August.
Absolutely.
For next
No
August.
doubt about it.
And I did, by the way. I was gonna try. I didn't think we could put it together because it's camp and you guys are so busy. But that was so much fun doing it with you and Inman and Barrows.
That was great.
We'll do that again too.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the off season, we'll definitely get together, drink some beers, and do that. So I think Cam's coming over next week to do a
very
little 49er
Next week,
report.
Isn't he going to Australia?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know he is.
Maybe he is.
Yeah.
When do they leave?
Let's say Wednesday, right? I think a week from today.
A week from today?
Yeah, September 2nd.
Maybe he's not coming over then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Hate to break the news to you.
damn.
No, I think he's supposed to come over Tuesday.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
The first.
Yeah.
Is that what it is
okay,
first?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What do I know?
Yeah.
Spending his last day with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. What's going on
It's
in
very,
his life?
it's very sad. It's very,
is.
very sad. All right, we'll be back with you probably Friday. We'll probably do a show. I'll sit out here by myself on Friday and talk about more carnivore stuff without Matt. I'm talking about animals killing animals and wolves in Alameda as we'll see what Lou had. Lou will have some input to the show as well. So we'll get you ready for the week. We got college football. College football this weekend. Are the games great? No, they're not. But it's real football. It's not exhibition football. I think we got SC and San Jose State play this weekend. I think NC State, Virginia, that might be the biggest game. Again, Stanford plays Hawaii, so we'll get into a little college football so we can find some winners for everybody. Until then, thank you for joining us. Matt, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And did you
Always
have
fun.
to read my hat to know who I was? We're only 2 beers in.
I poured a little bit more in yours. You're about 2.5.
Okay.
I'm 1.5. So, yeah. I like the loaded question, too.
Daughter from New Hampshire, or went to school there. Great brewery. Loaded question in New Hampshire.
That's a brewery?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like that name for a
I
brewery.
know, that's why I got
Is
it.
it good beer?
Very good. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Good beer in New Hampshire, New England. Yeah.
Did you go to Alchemy? The Heady Topper?
That's the Heady Topper. No, but I've had their beer quite
Yeah.
often. Yeah.
You didn't go to the brewery?
No.
What's the other one that's big out there that's like a Boston, like outside of Boston?
Is
or-
Treehouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you go to that one?
Yes.
How's that?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I know you brought me back a couple. I didn't know you went to the brewery.
Yeah. Yeah. They have several breweries, one in Cape Cod. So I've been there.
What about Hillstead Farms?
Trillium? No, I've never been there. That's Vermont. Does that sound right, or is that New Hampshire?
I don't know. Like all those states kind of bleed together.
Yeah, I've
like
never
they're all the
had-
same
yeah,
to me.
Yeah. No, they have really good beer back there.
Yeah. Like if somebody said, "Do you want to go to Vermont or Delaware?" I'd be like, "I don't give a shit. Just send me to one of them."
Yeah.
It's like, do we need 2 Dakotas? No, we don't need 2 Dakotas.
Vermont.
Yeah.
He'll sit for it.
Is it?
Yeah, okay.
Great
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Great beer. In fact, if you ever go to Philly for a Niner
Well,
game, did you go to Monk's?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Oh,
it was
unbelievable.
incredible,
In
wasn't
fact,
it?
I was okay.
Monk's is awesome.
Are we
Here we
still
go.
on?
Yes, we're still
Okay.
on.
Okay,
We're not
I
even done. We're
needed-
talking beers now.
So I went to Monk's, and
Monk's is
I was ready to
incredible.
leave because they have Pliny and Blind Pig
Yeah.
on tap there, right?
Yes.
And so I was leaving. I was like, okay, we're out of here. And then as I was leaving, some guy came past us from the cooler or whatever, the refrigerator,
Yeah.
to the main bar with a stack of Heady Topper. And
Ah.
I was like, hold it. And I asked this question, the first time I've ever asked this in a bar, are you guys selling that? And he was like, well, yeah, it's a bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're not leaving. So we had Heady Topper, and then people around us were like, what's the big deal? I was like, you should probably get that.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
good.
so people I didn't even know. And so we ended up staying another like 2 hours drinking
People you
Heady
didn't even
Topper.
know. Hey, you should get this. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. And then I think they were happy with our suggestion.
Now our VRBO was 50 yards
Yeah,
from
I
that place.
remember that.
Such a good beer bar.
Yeah.
Such a
very
such a good beer bar.
I went there
love
after a
that
game
place.
with the Palestra.
Did you really?
I went to a basketball game there.
Who'd you see?
It was Penn and Harvard.
Nice. That's old school.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow. All right, give me a beer that I should try. Now that you got me on beer, give me a beer I should try before I go.
Gosh. Okay.
And by the way,
By the way, my teeth are floating right now. I need to go to the restroom.
okay, real quick. Let's make it quick then. You're going now. I don't need to ask you because I'm going to go. Seattle's our game this
Oh,
year.
Seattle, go to
But-
Reuben or Stoop and Reuben.
Stoop and Reuben
Yeah, two different breweries in Ballard. Also,
Stoop.
Manny's.
and Reuben.
Yeah, it's in Ballard. So
Okay.
there's a good brewery.
Like Greg
section.
Ballard?
Ballard,
Yeah.
where the Deadliest Catch, right? Are those
Oh, okay.
those boats are out there. But Ballard is just north of Seattle, and they have great breweries. But Stoop is one brewery, and Reuben is another.
Okay.
So go to those two.
When will you get into Seattle?
Well, I go to Seattle every year.
No, I know, but when? Like on a Friday, Thursday?
Well, I don't travel anymore. I'm pre and post game show, so I'm
Oh,
in
shit.
studio.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah,
Just for Australia.
yeah. I'm going to Australia for the game.
God. So no more beer. We can't go to we can't go to our Minnesota beer place that we
No,
went,
that was
we
a
went
good
to. That's a
place.
really good.
Udapez? No, what is it?
Udapils.
Udapils. Yeah.
Udapils.
Yeah, that was
a
really
good one.
good.
Oh, I'm going to be asking you this again. Roop,
Stoop and Reuben.
Stoop, and Reuben.
S-T-U.
Roop and Steuben.
S-T-O-U-P. That's one brewery.
Okay.
And then Reuben, R-E-U-B-E-N is the other.
And we'll hit some great notion.
They're walking
We'll hit
distance.
some great notion while we're up there. That's
Great
a
notion.
Portland brewery, but it's in Seattle.
Have you ever had Manny's? Manny's is good.
No,
I forget-
Manny's.
Look up Manny's Seattle beer. I forget the brewery. That's a good beer.
Okay, give me a local brewery that you've had.
Georgetown Brewery. Okay, there
Okay.
you go.
Local
here.
brewery that you've had recently that you'd like.
Oh my god. Well, hey, come over to Lafayette. There's a new one there.
Oh, is there?
I don't want to give them free advertising. But
Okay.
there's a good new local brewery. But I mean, locally, man, Fieldwork, of course.
I mean, we know this.
I
we know
love
Fieldwork.
Ghost Town.
Ghost Town's
Absolutely
great.
love
I have some
Ghost
good.
Town.
In my fridge right now, I have Ghost Town, Fieldwork. I just went
Cellar
and picked up a
Maker.
whole bunch.
Cellar
Cellar
Maker.
Maker, Russian River.
Yep.
I don't have what
Wondrous.
Wondrous.
Yeah, Wondrous needs to do something with their, like, it's kind of sterile, like their tap room or their brewery.
Well,
but
it's
their
really
beers.
small.
Oh, here's one for you, Tinma.
Oh yeah, Timmon's right around the corner.
Yep.
From
Well,
Wondrous.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tinma.
You just go down, take a left,
Yeah.
and you're right there.
Okay.
I love Tenma.
We got to wrap this up.
We gotta, because you gotta go.
Yeah, I do.
All right. We'll be back Fridays. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
And remember this, Tommy T. Cash and tickets is what it's all about.